All right, it's a tea day, but not a Thursday day. We moved it to Tuesday so we could get Joesph and Andy on here because the Black Spinner took our day. So we had to say, fuck you. We're going to get you guys. We're going to make it Tuesday.
Just for this week.
Yeah, just for this week. But Jerry, man, what the hell's going on, brother?
Not a whole hell of a lot, man. Actually, kind of glad we're doing it on Tuesday because I wanted to go somewhere Thursday, so this worked out.
There you go.
Fine, so
Black Spinner's stealing our day.
We're gonna do a little. We're gonna do something a little different. We're not different. We've been doing this for a while now. We've going back to the guest picks, and since Travis did such a great job last time hosting the show, we're gonna let him take the reins on this one too, man. So get some good practice in, man, for your show. Because I'm looking forward to that when it comes out. But anyway, Travis, I'm gonna let you introduce our two guests, man.
Well, thank you for letting me host this special 1973 show. And
hey, it's brought to you by the letter T.
Yes. And I'd like to showcase two guests who I love very much.
Oh, thank you.
We got two musical encyclopedias. We got Mr. Joesph Staub. Woo! And then we got Mr. Andy Rodriguez of the Black Spinner Circle.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm very excited.
Fire.
Anytime, man. We love you, Andy. It's all good.
All right, so what are we're doing 1973. So
we are, yeah.
Before we get into that, Mark.
So we start with the BS, but let's get into somebody that guy used to ditch school a lot, and I had 4 channels in UHF, and there was really nothing to watch on during time that I was out of school. I think this came on 2:00 Pacific time on NBC in my area. The Phil Donahue show, man. The dude died, man. He just passed away at 88. He had a long life. He's married to that girl. I forgot her name, but Marlo Thomas. Yeah, but fuck, I just remember him. I used to it was comedy. I didn't care about what they were doing on the show, but every time he went to the guests, he ran up with a microphone. Put it in their face. This is so fucking cool, man. You have any thoughts about Phil Donahue, Jerry?
I just remember growing up, he was on the, he was like the it person on the daytime talk show at the time. So
he had a long run. Jesse Raphael and shit.
To be honest with you, I didn't even know he was still alive until I found out that he died. So I'm sad that they hear that, because I've heard nothing about him for like ever, So yeah, it's sad. It's always sad when people die. Rest in peace, dude. I mean, did I ever watch the show? No, I was probably too young to, or didn't give a shit because I was a teenager. But I heard you were doing good stuff at the time. So good for you, and rest in peace, dude.
Well, without him, we wouldn't have all these like fucking reality talk shows like the blood test came in. You are not the daddy. So that kind of started it, huh?
So he's the one to blame, huh?
He's the one to blame because he kind of went. He had like some little bit of like skirmishes on that show. I remember that.
I think Geraldo a little higher, yeah.
I think you're thinking of Rico Suave a little bit there.
That was, yeah. Well, Gerardo is actually my name in Spanish, believe it or not. I think that's what I've been told.
Any thoughts, Larry, on Donahue, man?
Oh yeah, big time. Y'all are way off. He was not trash TV.
He wasn't, but it kind of built it up for it.
He was. He would come out on ABC at about 9 or 10 in the morning. I would watch him in the summer times because it was too hot to go outside, so I stayed home and I would watch the Phil Donahue show because he really was more of a journalist.
Yes.
Until trash TV got a hold of him, and he started to go that way, but then he turned it back. Also, that is Phil Donahue was the show where they had the fake
Peter Criss.
Yeah, the fake Peter Criss. Mm-hmm. And then they brought the real Peter Criss out on the show, and he had confronted him. Phil Donahue was one of my favorites. I really liked him because he was a really good guy. He really put himself above the line until like Jerry Springer and Ricky Lake and Jenny Jones and all that stuff started to come out and left him behind because he really didn't go that route. He really had really good topics that were very important to society, and a lot of it had to do with sometimes there was music, TV, and stuff like that was going on in that era. So when Phil Donahue passed away the other day, my wife texted me because she knew how much I liked him.
I love Phil.
I'm sad by him.
He made my afternoon something to watch. You know, there's
Yeah.
nothing on. And it's like, there was no friends. They were all at school. So I had to entertain myself. And we didn't have video games back then. We did, but they kind of got boring after a while. But you know, Phil Donahue, Joesph, might be out of your age range.
Yeah, other than the clip with the Peter Criss imposter, that's literally the only thing I've ever seen of him.
Yeah.
Never really watched him, so sucks he died. I don't really have anything to say about it though.
Dude, the guy had so much energy, he'd be running up to the audience, putting the microphone in her face. That's like, Travis, you probably don't even know who he is either.
Hell no, I don't. But I do know of him, but I never watched him. But rest in peace. It is sad.
All right, so let's get to some other things. See, did you guys notice that there's going to be a hair metal documentary called Nothing But a Good Time on Paramount Plus? Any thoughts on that, Jerry?
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to watch. I heard of something like that. Yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. I've always liked those shows, like Decline of the Western Civilization, all those type of documentaries about that era. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
What about you, Larry?
Oh man, I'm very excited about it. I love any kind of documentary about music. Like you, Mark, you watch Milli Vanilli and all those others just because you love music that much.
I know.
It's really
I
cool
want to know the real story.
Yeah.
I hated them.
So I'm the same way too. You can find so much on YouTube and Tubi on almost anyone you can think of or any kind of genre, and it's pretty interesting. So yeah, man, I can get lost in those kind of documentaries on a weekend while my wife is watching Lifetime murder sex crap.
Lifetime channel.
Okay, I watch them with her too, but still, it's okay.
Speaking of murder sex crap, I saw a really terrible Ted Bundy biopic yesterday. It was like from 2002. Friggin' bullshit. But back to what you were talking about, Mark. Sorry.
I don't know, but what do you think about that documentary, Joesph?
I think it would be pretty cool. I mean, we all kind of know I'm not the biggest hair metal guy. I like a few of the bands, but I mean, I love anything like you guys were saying. I like anything that really kind of like encapsulates that era. I'd love to see a lot of those bands get talked to. Hopefully they shed a little bit of light on some of maybe the lesser known bands, and it's not all about like Poison and that
Bon Jovi shit like that.
Bon Jovi, which
Bon Jovi had their own documentary,
which not even hair metal.
Right.
So I'm hoping that, I know I saw that somebody posted it on a Kicks page that there was a couple clips of Kicks in the trailer. So hopefully you get bands like Kicks or some of the lesser heralded hair metal bands in there a little bit.
The London Choir Boys.
I'd love to see them get talked about.
I love that band, dude.
I think Jerry.
When are you gonna do a review? You're drinking, Jerry. Right on.
It's my first sip.
Cheers, bud.
Cheers.
I wish I had a beer.
What y'all drinking?
I'm drinking whiskey.
I
got the last of my Black Velvet, if you please. And
I
then
just finished my Powerade though.
And then I found out I could get fucking Jim Beam for $21. So it's only $2 more than Evan Williams. So I said, fuck it, I'll spend $2 more for
That's just like $32 here for some reason. I don't
Jim
know
Beam.
why.
Oh, the Evan Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went to Rocket Pod, remember I went to the liquor store, I go, $32. Right, I paid $19.99 in California.
Hey,
why is it so
I'll tell you what,
in Tennessee?
Don't knock the Canadian stuff. Like, I prefer Canadian whiskey.
Honest Canadian whiskey is great.
Oh, I love me some Crown, dude.
Mm-hmm. Crown.
Well, Crown Royal is expensive.
Black Velvet. I love Black Velvet.
Black Velvet's cool. This is only the $16.99 here.
Canadian Club. It's all some good stuff.
You know the only reason why I don't like this? You see how I could squish it?
Yeah.
It's a plastic bottle.
Yeah.
I don't like buying alcohol in plastic bottles. Black Velvet. Why? Can you charge $2 more and put it in a glass bottle?
I think that their fifths come in glass bottles and not
I want the big one.
Not the little one, the big one.
But you're right though. Everything tastes better in a glass bottle. Remember soda back in the 80s? Soda was awesome in glass bottles.
Remember taking a styrofoam off the fucking glass bottles?
Yeah.
That's why I buy my beer in bottles.
Yeah. I've never seen them sell beer in plastic bottles. That'd be weird.
They
kind of do have this weird squeezing texture.
They started with that aluminum shit.
I
hate that.
Oh, I hated this.
Oh, the
Those
aluminum with
bottles.
the twist top.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
twist off.
Yeah,
Bud does it.
The beer
Mick-
you guys are
Mick
drinking
Ultra
has
does
that
it.
shit too.
I'm drinking Yingling.
Oh, but he's got fucking.
He's got Mick
Ultra.
Ultra, and Mick Ultra does the aluminum.
Yeah,
bottles.
they do the aluminum.
Bud does it. I think, and I know like Miller and Coors do a similar kind of thing. It kind of looks like a chocolate milk like cup with a little like circle screw top on it.
Yeah. All right, Patty, what do you think about Nothing But a Good Time?
You know what? I'll watch it. I like more glam bands than I should. I do like a lot of the hair bands. There's some that I think are shitty, but there's a lot of them that I do like. And even if it's one album that they've made that I love, then it's more than I can say for a lot of other shitty bands. So yeah, I'll definitely watch it. I got Paramount Plus for free, so I'll definitely tune in for that.
Yeah, I got Paramount Plus, and they just raised my rates $1. It used to be
I saw
$11.99. Now it's $12.99. But I get Showtime with it too. So
I have the cheap one with the ads.
I can't stand the ads, dude.
My favorite.
I don't watch it enough to pay for the one without ads.
Oh, I watch Paramount Plus all the time because I watch all those fucking original shows.
I agree with Joesph. I mean, it's
I don't
not
care
worth
about
it.
ads.
If I watched it more, I might pay for the ad free one, but I don't. So
Showtime is awesome.
I mostly use HBO Max anyway.
Yeah,
so that's the one streaming service I don't have.
I
don't
like
think
Max.
There's not
Max
really
is
anything.
awesome.
There's not really anything on there that I.
They have all
watch.
the Warner Brothers movies though.
They do.
I have no. Look behind
I tell
me,
you
Mark.
what's turning into a really cool app is Hulu, man. They're showing really good stuff.
I get that shit for free because I work for Disney. But the thing is, I pay $8 for the ad-free thing. So I only pay $8 for ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus.
That's not bad.
You know what? You know,
Paramount Plus is Disney, right?
No, Paramount Plus is
No,
not
Viacom.
That's more like
National Geographic.
Some of the most of the Nickelodeon shows are on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, and so is Beavis and Butthead.
And I'm pissed off at you, Mark. I'm pissed off at your company. They just canceled one of my favorite shows today, and it pissed me off.
Acolyte?
Wicked Tuna.
Oh, I thought it was
canceled. Fuck the Acolyte, man.
The Acolyte was horrible. I'm glad they canceled that shit.
You know, at this point, I
didn't watch one episode because I knew it was shit.
At this point, I'd rather just go buy DVDs or Blu-rays.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I have a good PS. Well, yes, I'm going in your route, Joesph. I have a PS5 that plays like DVDs and Blu-rays, so I'd rather just get that then.
See, that's
I
my
only
thing.
got a PS4. I'm poor.
Aside from the movies, literally the only reason I would get HBO Max is for The Sopranos, and I have it. So
Sopranos rules though.
Yeah.
Even I like the ending. I thought the ending was.
I think the ending's great.
The ending's
perfect.
Great.
But if you're into really cool, like, shows about music and stuff, Andy turned me on to this Tubi, man. Any of you guys watch shit off Tubi? Great fucking free. Tubi and Pluto, man. They always show great shit on there, man.
Well, I don't have a wife anymore, so I can watch whatever the fuck I want.
Pluto always has some great stuff on there. Was
Hey Diane, you still rule. There.
They had some like an 80s action channel, and like for like a week straight it'll show Knight Rider, and then it'll show Magnum PI, and then it'll show A-Team, and it's great, and it's 24/7 with very few commercials.
Out of Knight Rider and those two shows, the only show that really stood the test of time was the A-Team.
Oh yeah,
I think Knight Rider's still great.
Yeah,
it's a little cheesy. It's a little cheesy. I do like it. Pluto's got this awesome. The A-Team is still like relevant to me.
Knight Rider rules. You got Mr. Feeney playing a kid. It's what else?
Pluto was awesome.
Well, you're talking about Mr. Feeney. That's a great segue to another story I have because we all love Topanga, right? Topanga's got cancer, Jerry.
Whoa, fuck.
Who?
Topanga, Danielle Fishel, Boy Meets World, reveals she has early stage breast cancer at 43.
Oh, that's too fucking young, dude. I wish he could. That's just fucking fuck cancer, man. That's terrible. 44 years old.
43.
I hope she beats it.
43?
43, man.
Wow, I thought she looked younger than that.
Never watched that show in my life, but I hope she beats it.
Oh, that show was awesome. I love that show.
I grew up with that.
I tell you what, one of the actually only decent shows that the Disney Channel did in the last like 10 or 15 years was the sequel show with
I like that show
when they were adults and it was their kids. Like that was actually pretty good.
They tried
Not
to
bad.
some channel tried to do Punky Brewster, and that was horrible.
Really?
It was horrible.
Fuller House was bad too.
Fuller House was bad too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a soft spot for
I
that.
hate Full House. So
Yeah, to begin with.
The
Full House
only
was
show
okay.
the only show to make kind of a comeback was, and it got to the point it was way too fucking political. Unfortunately, was Will and Grace. There were some funny moments on that, but it just got they just threw in too many political barbs.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I did love the
with
original.
rules.
I was glad that they got to bring Leslie Jordan back before he died.
Yeah.
I was happy about that.
I'm super sappy because I like a lot of those TGIF sitcoms.
I like them for Family Matters.
I love TGIF.
I know.
Yeah, Family Matters is great, but
Family
Full House, I
Matters.
hate
tomatoes
Full House.
What's the
I
one with
love
Balky? Perfect
That was
Strangers.
Perfect Strangers.
The one,
I didn't like that
the one with fucking what's that guy from Dallas and the one girl from
Step by Step. I
Step
love
by
that
Step
show.
was great too, man.
Oh, hang on a second. I got the box.
Yeah, I didn't. But did you know that Family Matters was a spinoff of Perfect Strangers?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It was
And-
it was supposed to be the mom's
Area.
spinoff, but it turned into Urkel and the guy from fucking Die Hard.
He was only in like 1 or 2 episodes in the first season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang
Hulu has a really good documentary about Family
Your
Matters.
background is putting you out, Travis.
Yeah.
There it is.
There you go. Step by Step.
I love Billy Duffy. I like Dallas. Sorry. My mom watched Dallas. I love Who Shot Dayyar, man.
I watched Dallas with my mom because we only had one TV.
I even like the Dallas, the one they brought back on TNT. That was really good. Until
That was
fucking
good.
Larry Hagman died, and it fucking killed the show.
It was a good show.
It was a good show.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It was a good
I never
sequel
watched
to
any of it. I did watch it, like the original though.
I love Dallas, but like, let's get to some other shit, man. We already had our obligatory Kiss news, but I'm going to bring some more obligatory Kiss news. We talked about Peter Criss being on the Donahue show.
Yeah.
Gene Simmons receives a key to the city of Niagara Falls Boulevard named in his honor, Jerry.
Good for him. I'm sure he'll probably charge people to walk on it. I'm sure,
Yep.
but
He's gonna put parking meters down.
you know what, Gene. Good job, buddy.
I like Gene better than Paul.
You know what? And I'm not to say something, and I really mean this. I don't know if it would happen, but I think if Gene would have had his way in Kiss, he probably would have had Ace and Peter come on and do a couple shows. I think.
Yeah,
I really do. I mean,
Paul's
in charge of the band, like it or not. He's been in charge of the band since the '80s, man.
Well, because Gene was doing movies.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. So I think Gene probably would have. Maybe not now because Ace is kind of, I don't know. I think Ace might be drinking again or something. I don't know, but
I agree with the Rock and Metal Combat podcast. I think he's doing pills.
Doing something, yeah, because he's acting weird out
there. But when I saw him twice, he was really good. So
I saw him for Alice Cooper. I saw him for Alice Cooper a few years ago. He was moving around the stage. He was, acting like he gave a shit. Now it just seems like he's not even going through the motions nowadays. I mean,
I think it's so sad because like 10 years ago, he was like, everyone's like, why is this guy not in Kiss? He's putting out amazing albums. He's doing all this stuff. Like, what is he like? He was by far the coolest member of Kiss because that was when Kiss was like at rock bottom.
Yeah.
And now he is just making a fool of himself. The last album was atrocious.
Oh, yeah.
Gene's out there having fun with his band. Like, I've seen the videos. Like, he's having a great time. Like,
I would see that band if he comes here, man.
I would see that band too.
It's weird to think that like in 2024, after Kiss is done, that Gene Simmons of all people is the one that's having like the best musical career. Like just going out on stage and having fun, having a good time, sounding good.
And I've always preferred the Gene songs more. They were more rocking, they were heavier, they were a little bit more menacing than.
And I don't know if anybody has seen his set list, but the past couple nights, Gene Simmons has actually been playing "House of Pain" from Van Halen.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, he's doing his version that he recorded with him, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
So, what do you think? Do you have any thoughts on him getting a street named after him, Larry?
Hey, if that's the way they want to honor him and they want a street named after him in Niagara Falls. I don't know what the connection is, between him and Niagara Falls.
Isn't it New York?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's in New York. It's on the other side of New York State. But I don't know what the connection is. But hey, good for him, I guess. That's it.
Joesph, any new thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Like Jerry said, he's probably going to charge people to walk on it, but I think it's pretty cool. I always find it cool when places do that for musicians. I know, Mark, you made fun earlier today on Facebook of the Cadillac thing from the 70s with Kiss when they did that. That was like one of the first times a town really did that for like a rock band. And I think it was really cool. On the first Kissology DVD, they have like footage from that. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just make fun of Kiss because they're easy to make fun of now.
Well, of course they are. Yeah. They're my favorite band, and I make fun of them.
They're your favorite band? Oh, I'm just joking. But Travis, any news on Gene Simmons getting his streak?
Yeah, good for him. He's always been my favorite vocalist to Kiss. He has the most rock and roll voice. And
yeah.
I know Gene Simmons can be a douche, but at least he's honest about it. All my favorite Kiss songs are sung by him. What can I say?
Really?
My favorite Kiss song is "Young and Wasted."
Oh,
there you go. So there you go.
I wish I was young, but I am wasted. There you
go. I love.
You're halfway there, Mark.
I'm halfway.
It's a shame you can't help the other part.
Gene Simmons, at least he's honest. I love him. So there you go.
That's the one thing I'll give Gene Simmons. Like, say what you will about Gene Simmons, and you can call him whatever you want. He's always been Gene Simmons, and like all the stories I've heard from people, when he wants to be, he is a genuine good dude. And like if he's like, if you just talk to him on the level, he's just a good dude. He's always been out for money. He's always been out for women. That's what he is. He's always going to be able to make a buck. But all the interactions I've heard him have with people are like genuine good interactions. So.
Dr. Fleck had some good interactions with him too, man.
Well, and he's done that stuff for the children's hospitals and stuff like that. Exactly. I'll always give him credit for stuff like that.
For doing that, he gets all my respect.
And not only just doing it, he went out of his way to like not make it public. Like it leaked, and it leaked without his permission that he was doing that kind of stuff.
He's a class act.
Yeah, like,
and the way I remember when Ian told that story where they were all taking a picture and Ian fell down and Gene Simmons got pissed off and said he was trying to make sure Ian was all right.
Yeah.
That's a good guy.
Yeah. You know who's not a good guy? Eddie Hojeda.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of things about
that guy. Right, Jerry? He was a dick.
Yep.
That's why
all I gotta say. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. He's a dick. It's like we paid for something and he wouldn't take a picture. We bought a signed photo from him. Can we take a picture for you? Well, that'd be another $20. And we go, fuck you. Fuck you.
I just compliment him. I go, dude, man, thanks, man, for all the great fucking memories, man. I mean, all your music through my, my teen years, man, just fucking was awesome. He's like, thanks, man, appreciate it.
That'll be $20 if you want to.
Then I go, it's all right. Can we get a picture with you? Oh man, I'm sorry, it's got to cost you some more money, man. Sorry.
Yeah, it's gonna cost us more money.
He did say sorry. I mean,
oh, fuck him. Well, if we had a booth, he would have took a picture with us, So
well, yeah, our booth is going to be cool. Me and Shane are going to be working on.
Yeah, you and Shane will be there. I will put that shit up. You guys do interviews on Freeform Rock Podcast. I will say, hey, this is Mark Alden Taylor. I wasn't at Rockin' Pod, but here's Jerry Supe in the Mooger Fooger. Here we go.
You're not coming? You're not coming?
I don't know yet. I got to make sure I got the money.
I'm only an hour away.
So yeah, you're only an hour away.
Yeah, so if I go, I'm driving down from Pennsylvania.
The only thing is I just need a place to stay. That's it. Like I just need like a roommate or something.
Travis, maybe in a couple months I'll let you know. Maybe we could get a fucking and Jerry get an Airbnb. So let's just.
Well, I'm probably going to go there for the day of the pod. So
you're not going to go there the day of the pod. You're going to go there the whole weekend.
We'll figure it all out.
We'll figure it out. But
all I say is if I get fucking COVID again, I'm never going back.
We both got COVID. I think it was Keelfest that gave us COVID. Sorry, Rick Fox. We love you, brother. But I think Keelfest gave us
Keelfest gave a lot of people a lot of things.
I don't know. I still like Ron Keel. So.
I love his older stuff, man.
Yeah, this is for Andy and Bob Hay. Blink 182 to release one more time.
Oh, I like that band too.
in September. Well, you like Blink-1? I don't know what the fuck this is. What is it, Andy? What is One More Time Part 2?
I have not listened to Blink-182 since 1999.
Well,
so
what is a Blink-182 anyway? Does that mean anything? No, I'm being serious.
Small thing.
That video is. I love that video though.
Well, yeah, it had hot chicks in there.
Well, no, it's like they're making fun of the boy bands.
Mm-hmm. They are. But after 1999, I have no idea what they're doing.
I don't know. I don't like that band. But I told Bob I put this in fucking BS form. But
I know that Bob likes them a lot, and I really wish that I can associate with it. But I really lost a lot of. I don't know. I just stopped following them.
I really like that song, like "Stay Together for the Kids" or whatever that song is with the other guys.
Speaking of Bob, hey, he just posted something on Freeform Rock Pass. There you go. And for the first time in 20 years, Phil Collins is coming out with new music. That's all I know. That's all he posted. I didn't read the article yet, so I don't know what it's all about.
Who posted? What website posted the article?
Oh, I didn't read.
Know?
Yeah, because Bob just put it on Freeform.
Okay, because I need with Phil's health right now, I don't know how much I believe that.
Yeah. So I'm taking
him
like I said,
sitting down singing, and it was really good. Still,
well, he still has a decent voice, but I just don't know about being able to go in and do a lot of recording and stuff. My guess would be that it was outtakes and stuff.
Well, Don Dokken did some recordings. It was pretty good.
Yeah, but I'm talking about not his voice, but just Phil Collins' health overall.
Oh, that's true.
No, Phil still has a really good voice. I mean, but it's just his health. I don't know if his health would allow him to go and do a consistent recording thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a bunch of outtakes and stuff that
there's a bunch of magazines here. It says
they might go in and touch up some outtakes. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because going into record that takes a lot of stamina. Yeah. It really does, and a lot of tedious work. It's a lot of shit.
I love Phil Collins, and somebody said the other day about Phil Collins, they can't tell the difference between Genesis and Phil Collins solo. I go, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh,
Phil Collins is more R&B solo, more R&B, more fucking like Motown shit.
Well, Mark, you gotta admit there's certainly some times in the 80s where it bleeds a little bit together. Some of the stuff on Invisible Touch and We Can't Dance and that kind of stuff bleeds into some of his solo stuff.
But I don't hear
In Too Deep sounds like a Phil Collins solo song. You can't tell me it doesn't.
It does, but the thing is,
overall, for fans that know better, of course we know the difference between that know the catalogs, but in general, there's a lot of that they just sound the same. If you just generally listen to some of the music, there's a lot of similarities there because he used a lot of the same musicians. He used Daryl Sturmer in his solo stuff
but he had more horns in solo stuff than he did in Genesis.
Well, yes.
But Genesis also did No Reply at All and some of the other stuff on Abacab that had the same horns.
Yeah, but Behind the Line, when he did the difference between Behind the Lines with Genesis and with his solo is way different.
Well, yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, but the thing is that I think we're talking about people that have no idea what Behind the Lines is.
Exactly.
We're talking about
people that listen to classic rock radio.
Yeah, or listen to pop radio in the 80s. I mean, they couldn't tell who was who.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's I grew up there. I understand the difference.
Yeah,
I understand it. People don't.
Right. Because we've been following it our whole lives.
Yeah, so, I'm just now seperating them because I'm taking deep dive.
You're getting it now, though, right, Jerry? You're getting the.
There's some songs. I mean, I can still, like you said, some of his songs they just bleed together, man. I mean, you can't tell them apart, man. So, it's Genesis and Phil Collins, but there's some songs you can definitely tell apart.
Yeah,
like you mentioned horns, for instance. That's definitely not a Genesis thing,
No,
that's a Phil thing. So
but there's a lot of if you're just someone who listens to the radio, you hear 80s sounding instruments and Phil Collins' voice, and you really don't know the ins and outs of the catalog.
Right.
There's a lot of people like Jerry was saying that is it a Phil Collins song? Is it a Genesis song?
I couldn't tell them apart until recently, to be honest with you. Except for some of them, they're real popular ones. Mama, I knew that was Genesis. I mean,
Genesis in general, even their poppier stuff has some heavier guitars in it than Phil's solo stuff does.
Yeah.
It has more traditional instrumentation. heavy on like Tony Banks's keyboards. Phil definitely has people who know the catalogs can definitely tell
Tony
like
Banks
the ins
is
and
the
outs.
difference in Genesis.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm just saying, if you just like, if you listen to the greatest hits of both of them from the '80s, and you don't know really and you really don't know, it's easy to be able to hear it that it's the same person that wrote the songs at least.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I still catch myself a little bit here and there. I
Yeah.
really do.
What about you, Travis? Travie Patty?
Right. I love Phil Collins, but I'm not too wild about the idea of him releasing one more album. Look, he can sing, that's for sure, but drumming just takes a lot of strength.
Well, he wouldn't.
He
do
ain't
it.
drumming.
Yeah,
His son
drumming.
His son would be drumming.
His son would be drumming.
Okay, just wondering about that. If it happens, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't know. I'm on the fence.
I think he's worth a
But,
listen.
God bless him for doing it.
Oh, I would definitely listen to it.
He's worth a
Yeah.
listen.
I would too.
I mean, I wasn't sure about Jethro Tull's The Z-Lot
Oh,
or whatever, but I ended up liking that one.
really?
So
Oh,
who knows? But while you
I
guys
like Jethro Tull,
What?
but not as much to be a favorite.
I was
band.
never big on them anyway.
Well,
So
I love them.
I like
I will-
Aqualung. I
well,
think
I'm gonna go grab.
I'll
Sorry,
listen
go
to
ahead.
Thick as a Brick and enjoy that, and then you guys can have the rest.
Well, I like that album when it had Farm on the Freeway where they beat Metallica for best metal band.
Oh, that's
I do like that album.
That's a god awful album.
I do like that song Farm on the Freeway.
Crest of an
though.
Ave.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite one is it's the popular one, Aqualung. But you guys talk. I'm gonna go grab a drink.
All right.
Mhm.
Oh, you're gonna get a drink. All right, man. So
Not what
let's
we
get
think
to
it is.
something new. W.A.S.P, Blackie, Lawless. Metallica did not become Metallica until a Justice for All, Jerry.
That's a funny joke.
That's hilarious, Blackie.
Right?
Why are these rock stars? They're aging and they're becoming senile. Why is that, man? I don't get where that comes from. They weren't metal, heavy metal.
Metallica
until
to Justice for All. Okay.
Wow, that's news to me, Blackie. Hey, man, you know better. You were there. You probably knew them, so I'll go with what you're saying, but I don't believe you, pal. Sorry.
All right. Larry.
Yeah, it's just as bad as Vince Neil saying that Motley Crue brought in Satanism music into hard rock and heavy metal. What the hell is this dude talking about? So yeah, when I read that about Blackie Lawless, that's just ridiculous, man. And that's because I like him Justice for All, but you can't ignore, because that's what he's doing. He's ignoring Kill 'Em All and Write the Lightning and Master of Puppets.
And those are like the three most Metallica albums ever.
Do you think these people say that just to try to stay relevant in the news?
He's going on tour, and thank God Armored Saint is like with them again, because Armored Saint I saw twice with them, and Armored Saint was great.
See, Armored Saint just gives me extra reason because I already wanted to see them play the whole debut album, and I love Death Angel, but I'm like, that's not going to fit.
No,
like at all.
Armored Saint is perfect.
I've seen Death Angel live, and Death Angel rips live. They are freaking amazing live, but they would blow W.A.S.P off the stage.
Well, Armored Saint kind of blew W.A.S.P off the stage too.
But I mean, at least it's a little bit more of like a similar thing. Like Death Angel would just come out and like just absolutely demolish the crowd for 7 songs, and like W.A.S.P is W.A.S.P, and I love that first album, and that's why I'm gonna go. But Blackie has always been Blackie, and I find that interesting that he says Metallica didn't become Metallica till their 4th album, because W.A.S.P never had a consistent sound between any of their albums, and I personally think they never topped the debut, but they never had a consistent sound other than Blackie's voice. Literally, that was it, and so to literally discount a band like Metallica, who knew exactly who they were from the very first second of their very first song, when that like intro to Hit the Lights comes in,
right?
That's Metallica.
Yeah,
that Hit the Lights got me into Metallica. That's the first album I heard by them. Right before Justice came out, my friend gave me Kill 'Em All to listen to, and it hit like that drum sound. And fucking Lars. I don't know why people go off on Lars. I think he's a great drummer.
In the 80s, Lars was an amazing drummer.
Lars is an amazing drummer.
Yeah. And the thing that he missed the whole point about what Metallica is, because us Metallica fans, millions of Metallica fans, see the progression from album to album. We follow their album to album. Even if we're disappointed with a couple of them, we still follow them because of what they are and who they are to us. And that's just, and there's not that many bands like Metallica that we follow like that, where we kind of hang on everything they do. It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, what an FU to Cliff Burton too. Fuck,
yeah, right?
Come on, dude.
Right? That was Jason Newsted's first album, and he didn't even play bass.
Oh yeah, and in fact, on Saturday morning when I was taking my dogs to the dog park, I was figuring out what am I going to take for the ride, because it's about 30 minutes, and I took Garage Days, the first one. Oh my god, woo! And I got the expanded version where they added the Motorhead at the end, like the 4 tracks of Motorhead at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And those dudes really did wear their influences on their sleeve.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I remember I first got that album. I'm playing in my room, and my stepmom's in there with me. I got something to say.
I killed your mother today.
It's like, what the hell are you listening? She's like a church girl,
mm-hmm.
She was like, what the hell are you listening to? Blah, 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 blah. My dad was sitting there laughing. He didn't give a shit, but it was funny.
Yeah, but they just did homage to those bands.
That bass line that Jason did on Crash Course was fucking pretty awesome.
Fuck yeah. Jason is so underrated. He just got bitch slapped in that band, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and look at the way we're talking about them. We're talking about their freaking their cover EPs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how much we love this band,
Yeah. So, who hasn't talked about Metallica? Travi.
Okay, so what was the question?
It was like W.A.S.P, Blackie, Lawless said Metallica did not become Metallica until Injustice for All.
Oh, for Christ's sakes. Fuck out of here, Blackie, Lawless, man. I'll give you those first 4 Metallica albums over any W.A.S.P any day. I ain't even talking about the debut. I love that W.A.S.P debut, but Kill 'Em All Through Injustice smashes it over the head with a bloody hammer.
Oh, I'll take the first W.A.S.P album over Justice any day.
Oh, I do too.
I'll take the first 3 over. I'll take the first 3 over it.
Anyway,
I take it back. You know what? At least W.A.S.P's first album doesn't have To Live Is to Die. I'll give it to W.A.S.P for that.
I love To Live Is to Die. That was Cliff Burton's last song, bitch.
And he didn't finish it. So
yeah,
it's a plotting and boring song. The W.A.S.P album, you're right. The W.A.S.P album is better than Injustice for All. Kudos to you.
Yeah, but the first 3.
Well, you know how I feel about W.A.S.P. If I gave you my W.A.S.P album, so
I love the date.
I'm so fucking pissed off at you, Andy, for giving him those vinyls.
Yeah, I am too.
Okay, I'm cool because Joesph rules.
I love the debut, and I love Headless Children, and that's it.
Yeah.
All right, man. I got a little rant here about Greatwhite. And I'm kind of pissed off. Mark Kendall constantly put Jack down in interviews. But now that he died, he's like licking his ass. And Jackrussell said nothing but good things about Greatwhite. And he said it was his fault that he was out of the band. But now Mark Kendall is talking fucking licking his ass because he passed away. Fuck you, Mark Kendall. I heard your shit about Jackrussell. You can fuck the fuck off. You were talking shit about him while Jackrussell will say nothing but good shit about you. And it was his fault that he got kicked out of Greatwhite. So fuck off, Mark Kendall. Fuck you, and fuck you. Because he died, you're saying nice things about him? You can fuck the fuck off. I heard all your shit about him. And Jackrussell said nothing but nice things about you and said it was his fault that he was on drugs and alcohol, that why he got kicked out of the band. Jerry, what do you think about that?
What's he supposed to say?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Well, he's being like nice now. He wasn't being nice when he
What's
was
he supposed to
alive.
say?
You think he's gonna? Yeah,
fuck
you think
this
he's
guy.
gonna?
I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
But
Of course, he
be
probably still hates it.
truthful.
No.
Be
He probably
truthful.
still. Dude, it's called being nice, dude, and
He
respectful
probably
for somebody
still
just
thinks
died.
the same thing, but he's not going to come out a day after the guy dies and say, you know what?
Exactly.
He had all these
But he
problems. I'm
said
glad
something
he's
at a show that he was fucking amazing. Fuck you. You talked
Of
so much
course he's
shit
gonna
about
do
him when he
that.
was alive.
He never stopped saying that he was a great
Hold on,
singer.
Mark.
He
Also,
never stopped saying he was a great singer.
Also, he might have talked some shit when they were fighting all this and that, but you don't know the closeness that these band members have for years. These guys spend years together. We don't know the kind of brotherhood they really had. And yeah, they were fighting, Mark Kendall was fighting in the media, but that doesn't mean he hated him, man.
But
People
the thing is, Jackrussell did not say one bad thing about Mark
Good
Kendall.
That's just
Good for
him
him.
being classy. That's him being classy.
Jack
Good for
Russell
him.
took responsibility for everything he did in that band, and he understood why they let him go.
Good for him then. Everyone I've ever talked to that met Jack Russell said he was a great guy. I'm happy. I'm glad that like he's getting the praise. But like, what did you expect him to come out and keep trashing him after he died? Of course they're going to put out.
Honest.
Of course they're going to put out a statement honoring him. They're not just going to ignore the fact that he died.
Yeah.
What?
Like, would you be more pissed off if they just said nothing?
It's like I guarantee.
I'd be more pissed off. I wouldn't be pissed off at all if you just said nothing.
Take Stryper for instance. If Tim Gaines were to die, they would memorialize him.
Hey, Michael Sweet has said nothing but nice things about Tim Gaines.
Just saying that's what happened. What happened? It's just the way. I don't know. I've seen it before where bands didn't like each other. Band members dying, they've been respectful.
But the thing is, Michael Sweet has not trashed Tim Gaines at all. Tim Gaines has trashed Michael Sweet.
I'm just saying, I guarantee if something were to happen to Tim Gaines, Michael Sweet would say something really nice.
Well, Michael Sweet has always said something nice about
Hey, Mark, forgive me for turning it around on you real quick, but how about your precious Sammy Hagar after Eddie Van Halen died? He trashed Eddie Van Halen for years.
Listen.
He trashed him for years in the media, and now ever since then, it's been nothing but sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows.
But what did I say about Sammy? I said he's full of shit on that. I've always said. I've always been honest about Sammy about that shit.
But I'm saying it's not unheard of for bands to do that right after one of their members dies.
It's true, but the thing is, I was hearing Mark Kendall talking this up to Jack Russell died, that he was a piece of shit. And would you like to see a person sitting in a chair singing our songs?
Okay, well, he died less than a week ago. See what he says in a year, Mark. Like, it just happened. Like,
he might a year from now, he'll probably go back to his
But I'm just saying, Jack Russell was so gracious
to
those
well, then
members.
Great for him. Great for him. He's a great guy. Everyone has said how great of a guy he was and how much it sucks that he died. But, like, everyone knows Mark Kendall's an asshole. Everybody knows that.
I just call it hypocrisy. That's it.
I mean, it's literally what every band does when one of their former members dies. Like, people would call them out if they don't say anything for it. So,
I just wish he wouldn't have said anything. That's all. Just let it go.
All right.
You got any thoughts on that, Travis?
I'm going to use I'm not going to touch that question with the 10-foot pole card. So,
all right.
Next.
So let's get to what we're doing, man.
Travis, take over, Travis. Cheers.
Thank you. All right. Well, I'll be talking about Sammy Hagar in a little bit during my list. So,
hey, I saw him live last night. He was amazing. Fuck you guys. You fucking kicked ass.
I actually got a positive thing to say about Sammy Hagar tonight.
Thank you.
So keep in mind. That's right. I'm ready for some hate. Anyways, so this is one of my all-time favorite years in music, 1973. It's up there with 1967 and 1984, 1969. 1973 is just a juggernaut year for music and movies. It's just unstoppable, and that's why I chose this topic tonight. And I'm so blessed to have Joesph, Staub, and Andy on to discuss this great year with me. And thank you, Mark and Jerry, for letting me do this. So
makes our job easier.
So I believe so. I'm going to have Mark go first, then Jerry, then Joesph, then Andy, and then myself. And then we'll just go on that way, that pattern. So, Mark, what is your number 11?
My Woman from Tokyo. Fucking Deep Purple. Who do you think we are? The last album with Ian Gillan before they went to Burn. Fucking great fucking album. Fucking Burn is amazing too. Just got to say that too. But fucking the last album with Ian Gillan before he came back to Perfect Strangers. I love this fucking album. It's fucking great album. So I picked Deep Purple. Who do you think we are?
Great choice. More on that later. Jerry?
I'm gonna start out with some fucking beer drinkers and Hellraisers, damn it.
Nice.
ZZ Top's Trace Hombres, man. What a great album that is, man. Jesus Just Left Chicago, The Grange. I mean, what the fuck else is on there? Hot Blue and Righteous.
Peak.
I mean, it's loaded with fucking classic ZZ Top tunes, man. I mean, that's just a plethora of what ZZ Top was back in the 70s, man.
Master of Sparks. Amazing.
I mean, this probably should have been a little higher on my list, but there's so many good albums, like you said, Travis. But I had to include it, so that's my number 11, ZZ Top, Tres Hombres.
Great choice. Again, more on that later. Joesph?
All right. Well, I'm glad you mentioned it, Jerry, because I completely forgot that album came out in 1973. 1973 is such an amazing year for music, made only more so by the fact that Dark Side of the Moon is not on my list.
Oh,
holy shit!
Wow.
That is how good this year is.
Wow.
That there are 11 albums from 1973 that I like more than Dark Side of the Moon.
It might not be on mine.
God.
It was that good of a year.
So at my number 11, I'm going to start out with the magnum opus by a gentleman that goes by the name of Elton John, and that is Goodbye
Yellow Brick Road.
I mean, any album that opens up with Funeral for a Friend,
Yep,
you're going somewhere with that.
that
And
goes
I mean,
goes right into Benny and just fucking keeps it shreds.
Actually, no, Candle in the Wind before Benny and the Jets.
Is
but,
it?
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
But I
We
mean,
got Jamaica Jerk Off, and okay,
That song sucks though.
the
I
title
love
track,
that song.
the title
You could
track,
jerk
Gray
off then.
Seal, Ballad of Danny Bailey, All the Girls Love Alice, Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. I mean, just great double album, tons of great tracks on here. Probably my favorite Elton John album, and I think
It's mine too.
amazing.
It may appear later on my list as well.
Amazing album. So kicking it off with a little bit of Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
That's one of the best double albums of all time.
Yep.
The Gray Seal. I love the Gray Seal.
Mhm.
That's a great song too. All right, Andy.
Yeah, when you all said we're gonna do 1973, I started thinking back. Have I done 1973 on Black Spinner Circle? Well, I went back and I found that me, Al, and Brad Dahl had done it. I was all perfect. My list is done. But then I said, you know what? I love the BS section so much. It's my home away from home. It'd be disrespectful for me to do that. So I made a whole completely new list yesterday that does not include anything I talked about on Black Spinner Circle. So with that being said,
I'm sorry, one second. We may have done this before. I don't know. But we're doing it again.
I feel like I've talked about 1973 somewhere before, but I don't know.
I don't remember any of these albums on 1973.
We should start writing them down.
I go back and look at our shows, Jerry.
Sorry,
I don't think
Andy.
we've done this.
No,
sorry, Andy. Go ahead.
And the thing is that I've gone through a lot of changes in music in the year and a half to 2 years, where to a point that I have met Travis and Joesph between that time. And I've learned a lot of music between here and there from all the different podcasting I've been doing. So that's what this list is going to reflect on. So starting at number 11, a lot of my albums are going to be very different. So I'm going to start off with Wishbone Ash with Wishbone 4. One of the leaders and one of the first ones to introduce the dual lead guitar. This was from 1973, of course, but it was already their fourth album. Their last album, Coat of Arms, is fantastic. It came out in 2021, I believe, which is album number 35 for them. So Wishbone Ash, if you're not too familiar with them, check them out. I know that
I'm really not familiar with them, to be honest with you.
We did a review with Lee on Freeform Rock Podcast. Really good album. I don't remember the album we did.
And, I know that Travis had asked me once before, and then I had told him I had sent him a couple albums, but I never heard back of what he thought about them. But Wishbone Ash, man, my number 11.
I tried to get into Wishbone Ash with those albums. It just didn't cut it for me, but you know what? More power to you, man. It's all good. Great choice. Number 11, one of my all-time favorite bands, definitely pioneers of punk rock. I'm going with the third album from the Stooges, Raw Power.
I almost picked that one.
Kicking it off with one of the greatest album openers of all time, Search and Destroy. Has my favorite opening lyric of all time. I'm a street walking cheetah with a heart full of napalm. Badass, gimme danger, penetration, your pretty face is going to hell. The title track, it's just a sonic boom of an album. Not relating to that terrible Kiss album, but it's just a kick-ass, like, pedals to the metal album. I love Iggy and the Stooges. One of the best albums of all time. Mark?
So I'm on number 10.
Or 10.
This album should have been higher, but it's like we had a day to get this list together. So it's like I gotta go. It's like I didn't have 4 days to get this list together. So I'm picking Black Sabbath. Bloody Sabbath. Great fucking album.
Again, may appear on my list later.
Great fucking album.
It fucking better.
Number 1. It could
Yeah,
be number
exactly.
10. It doesn't matter. All these albums could be number 1 in my mind. So Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is a fucking great album. Ozzy rules. Even though Dio is my favorite Sabbath, but I love the Ozzy stuff too. So, and Dio didn't release an album in 1973. So there you go. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is my number.
Didn't he do something with Elf?
The first Elf album
Well, I
came
don't
out
like
in
Elf
73.
that much though.
Neither do I, but
Elf is okay.
All right. Well, it's a great album. Jerry, number 10.
My number 10 is from my favorite album by these guys. It has my favorite song by them. The Who's Quadrophenia, man. Love Rain Over Me is my favorite song by them. Always has been. Roger Daltrey's voice in that fucking song is just perfect, man. It's amazing. I mean, it's great songs on it. I've had enough. I wasn't crazy about The Real Me. I think W.A.S.P actually did a better job, in my opinion.
I agree with you on that one.
But, I mean, just a great song. Cut My Hair, The Rock. I mean, Sea and Sand, just loaded with great tunes. And
everybody talks about Tommy. Quadrophenia beats the shit out of Tommy.
I think so too. I like Tommy. Don't get me wrong.
Quadrophenia does beat the shit out
of Tommy. Drowned, 515.
Yeah, dude.
The Rock.
I'm out of my brain on the fire.
Dirty Jobs. It's just loaded with great tunes. Yeah.
Yeah, the Quadrophenia is awesome from beginning to end. It is.
I mean, and it still fucking sounds fresh to me today. All their albums, I think it's one of their freshest sounding ones, still in my opinion.
It is.
Like, that's my number 10.
Am I the only one that likes to put The Rock with Love Rain Over Me, kind of like a heartbreaker going into Livin' Lovin' Made? I like to put The Rock. I think The Rock segues perfectly into Love Rain on Me.
I guess with the rain and all. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe I don't know. I wouldn't compare it to like. I don't know. I have to. You know.
I don't think it's one of those. I don't think it's one of those ones where it's like you can't hear one without the other kind of thing. Like Heartbreaker,
maybe I will. Yeah, I'll give it another listen later and see if I get right back to you on that one.
Just like you can't listen to Dark Side of the Moon without listening to the album.
There's really nothing you can't. You got to put it all together basically in order for the Dark Side to sound good. It really does.
Yeah, you do.
Except for maybe Money. I mean, because that starts off, aside. But other than that, they pretty much all go together.
Great choice, Joesph. Number 10.
All right. So, being the ginormous fan that I am, you know that I had to have an album from this band on my list. A band that I have, in the last year, gotten Jerry into, featuring an album that has a really great album cover, in my opinion, and that is 1973's Razamanaz from Nazareth.
And I love that album.
One of my favorite Nazareth albums. I mean, it has the title track, Alcatraz, Woke Up This Morning, Broken Down Angel, just some really great Vigilante Man, just some really, really great tracks on this album. One of my favorite Nazareth albums. It was their first one for A&M Records. The album that kind of broke them a little bit before they had a big hit with This Flight Tonight off of the next album. But really, really great album, Razamanaz from Nazareth.
Yeah, I still got to do that episode with Dr. Fuck, but we've got to get it on not a Thursday. Because he does.
I gotta say, Joseph, you turned me on to some Nazareth also, and I thank you for that.
Hey, you know who was also on A&M Records?
Who?
Boingo Boingo. There you go.
Well, They can't all be winners, you know.
Fuck off.
Here we
I
go.
love
No one ever said Herb Alpert had the best taste in music.
Oh, well, thing is Herb Alpert's coming to town. I want to go see him.
Here we go, folks.
He's doing a Christmas show.
I gave you the Oingo Boingo reference. There you go.
All righty. Andy.
I like Herb Alpert. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Tijuana Brass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what people forget that Herb Alpert is the A in A&M Records.
A&M, yeah.
Yep.
He's the A. And he's coming to town in December to do a Christmas show.
He's still alive?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. I thought he was dead.
You better take back what you said about Herb. My number.
He's listening. He's listening.
Herb's coming for all of us.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Death by Herb.
Andy, what's your number 10, brother?
Yeah, my number 10 is this is going to be an instrumental album, the first of many instrumental albums. This guy is known for a lot of motion picture soundtracks in the 80s. I'm talking about Mike Oldfield with the Tubular Bells.
Oh, I forgot that came out that
I know
year.
that album cover. I've never listened to it, though.
It's the theme from The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, Tubular Bells.
Yeah.
Hey, I could get that on 4K now because my ex-wife is gone. She didn't want me to buy that movie.
So this is a killer album, man. You put it on, it's just a good album from beginning to end. And he was the go-to guy. I've also got the Killing Fields on vinyl as well that he did the soundtrack.
That's Mel Gibson, right?
No.
Oh, I thought the movie Killing Fields was. Okay.
No.
So
that's my number 10, man.
That's a fantastic choice. Yeah. Great job, Andy. Great job. Number 10 to me is this is definitely a summertime listen for me, but I always love this album. It's definitely my favorite album from this band. Number 10, the Doobie Brothers, The Captain and Me.
I almost picked that one. Great album.
Natural Thing, Evil Woman, China Grove. Oh my God, those 3 songs, man. If you thought Doobie Brothers is more of the Michael McDonald stuff, you got to listen to the early stuff with Tom Johnston. It's just fantastic. Dark Eyed Cajun.
That riff from China Grove should be mentioned is like famous riffs like Smoke on the Water.
It's like everybody's, I was just going to say like Smoke at the Water, that China Grove groove is right there.
I can go on and on. Long Train, Running, and South City Midnight Lady, one of my favorite ballads of all time. And then at the end, you get You, Kyra, going into the title track. It's like the chef's kiss, man. Love that album. My favorite Doobie Brothers release. My number 10.
Cool.
Travis, you're in control, dude. Where are we going now?
All right, Mark, you are up next for number 9.
Let's get it going, rookie. Come on, Travis.
Who picked this? Somebody already picked ZZ Top Tres Hombres, so I'm picking that. Great fucking album, fucking ZZ Top rules. We don't talk enough about. We need to do an episode on fucking ZZ Top.
I thought we were going to do Eliminator.
I like that El Loco album. Review.
We did a review on El Loco.
That was a good review. I liked it.
But that's on Freeform. But we need to do like a top 11 ZZ Top songs.
That's a good idea.
I'd be down for that.
I'd definitely be on for that.
I'd definitely do that one.
So Tres Hombres is my number 9.
Cool. Right on. Jerry?
Yeah, my number 9 is Goat Head Soup by the Rolling Stones, man.
Yeah.
Dancing with Mr. D. And Angie, man. We're talking about Rogers, opus, like it being Reign Over Me. I think Angie is Mick's best vocal ever, in my opinion, just the way it is. I'm sorry. I mean, loaded with great fucking tunes. I think we reviewed this on Freeform. I
think you guys did.
We did Goat Head Soup, yeah.
You can hear the music. Was it with James too? Maybe.
I don't think it was Shane, was it? I don't know. I'll look it up later.
But yeah, I mean, it's not my favorite Stones album, but it's definitely up there. I think Exile Out of Main Street is probably my favorite, but this one's definitely
I agree
up there.
with that Exile.
Just a fucking another great solid album, dude. The Mick Taylor era of Stones is the fucking best, man. Sorry.
Oh, it is the best. Mick Taylor.
I mean, I like Brian Jones. Brian Jones did more like, more of the strings, I guess you would call it, in his earlier music, like all those songs, She's a Rainbow and all them. Ruby Tuesday, a lot of string type things in them. But I think they found their stride with Mick Taylor, and I think that was definitely my best era, the best era of the Stones.
Yeah.
So that's my number 9. Goat head soup. Goat's head soup.
Wonderful choice. I love that album. It just missed my cut, but I love it.
Joesph?
It missed my cut, but
yeah, it was an honorable mention for me too.
Yeah, me too.
It's a fantastic record. Anything with Mick Taylor, man.
For me, that was their last. For me, that was their last A+ album.
I want to go. I would stretch it to rock and roll. The album.
That's a great album too.
That's a good album, but I think Goat Tattoo was their last like A+ S tier album for me. I think It's Only Rock and Roll is a good album, but it's not the same level as the 4 that came before it.
You take
on that one.
You take out Waiting for a Friend, and Tattoo You is pretty solid.
I like
Waiting for a Friend.
like Waiting for a Friend until years later, but that album is fucking amazing.
That's a great album, but again,
that's a great album.
I still think it's like an A, not an A+.
Right. Start Me Up is in every fucking sports game.
Thing. Yeah.
Great song.
Number 9, Joesph, what's your pick?
All right, well, folks, it's an election year this year, and
unfortunately, we do.
No matter who you support, I think we can all agree on what the true candidate for president is.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I want to be elected.
Yeah.
Alice Cooper, $1 Billion Babies.
Rejected.
Possibly my favorite Alice Cooper song is on this album, Generation Landslide.
Yeah.
La, da, da, da. Great track. No More Mr. Nice Guy. I Love the Dead. Unfinished Sweet is a really underrated track, in my opinion. The title track, $1 Billion Babies, Hello, Hooray, Raped and Freezing, and of course, Elected. I mean, one of, if probably in like the top 2 or 3 Alice Cooper albums. It's right up there with Killer and Welcome to My Nightmare, in my opinion. Yeah. Just absolutely phenomenal album. It's my number 9, Alice Cooper, $1 Billion Babies.
That might come up later.
I hope it does.
What a great choice that is.
Chris Czynszak would be proud of you right there.
All right, Andy, what's your number 9?
Yeah, my number 9. I'm not going to talk about this one too much because I know someone here is going to talk about it later on. But this is going to be my number 9. Brain salad surgery.
That'd be Joesph, not me.
No spoilers, Mark.
Spoiler, yeah.
By Emerson.
That H.R. Geiger artwork.
Just an awesome album cover, though.
I love it so much.
It just, well, mine's torn, but it's badass, man. And you would think that this was a double album because it's so epic, but it's not.
Yeah.
That's how epic this album is. It's it was not on my first 1973 show, and so I had to include it tonight. So, Brain Salad Surgery by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I got into them at about the same time that I started doing podcasts, and I kept on hearing more and more. So I just started buying more and more and more and more and more, and except for Love Beach. I don't have Love Beach. I think I stopped at Works 1 and 2.
I like Emerson, Lake and Powell the best.
Great album.
Yeah.
I never bought that one. I always passed that
Touch
one up.
and Go is one of the amazing songs I've ever heard and Lucky Man with Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Yeah, but
that is my favorite ELP song is Lucky Man.
Lucky Man is my favorite song by them.
Beautiful song.
I agree with you.
But this is pure prog. I mean, this is like almost beyond prog. This is just in their own world is what Brain Salad Surgery is. It really is in their own world. And I love it for it. I love them for it.
I give a slight edge to the debut album, but I do love that album. All right. Number 9. All right. Let's keep the Sammy Hagar jokes to a minimum.
No.
Say what you will about Sammy Hagar, but the first Montrose album.
Asshole. I didn't think anybody picked this album.
See,
I love that first Montrose album. Everybody sounds great on it. Yes, even Sammy sounds good.
Sammy always
sounds
good. It
starts off with Rock the Nation, Bad Motor Scooter, Rock Candy. It's just a great hard rock album, and it ends with Make It Last. Love that song. So and it's produced by Ted Teppelman, of course. Number 9, the first Montrose album.
That's not a horrible album.
I have close to 20 albums between my list and my honorable mentions, and I cannot imagine thinking that first Montrose album is better than any of them.
Ooh.
Okay then.
It didn't make my list either.
Fuck loves that first Montrose album.
I think he loves it.
I
he loves it less and less every year. He said.
Well, because Ian Wadley gets on his nerves.
I just hope we're all still buddies at the end of this.
We should be. You know what? I don't care what the fuck
as long as it's not Mark's number 1, I think we'll all be fine.
Well, my number 1, you're probably not going to think what the fuck it is.
See, my number 1 was the easiest decision I've ever made.
My number 1 is going to be so obvious. I think you guys.
I know what it is.
Jerry,
it's Dark Side of the Moon. Spoiler alert.
My number 1 is very obvious.
Jerry, I'd be hard pressed.
My number 1 is it.
Didn't have the same number 1.
I didn't pick Dark Side of the Moon because I knew everybody would think that I would pick that.
Oh, okay then.
I got to see this now.
Oopsie.
Okay.
And my name is really Skippy Turdson too.
Jerry's number 1 is my number 4, I think.
Damn, Skippy.
I can't wait to find out.
If I had to guess, I'm pretty sure that Jerry's number 1 is my number 4.
Well, let's get on to number 8. Mark.
Number 8. I'm gonna pick. I think Jerry already picked this. Goat's Head Soup. That's fucking wonderful. Great album by the Rolling Stones. Eddie kind of stretchy. He's like, yeah, but he probably would have been higher.
Yeah.
Or Bushy would have probably been higher on this. I think that's Bushy's favorite album by Rolling Stones.
Great album.
I love you, Bushy.
He's definitely not a Beatles guy. He's definitely a Stones guy.
I just can't be friends with Bushy right now until political season is over. But I love you, Bushy. So I have no problem with you. But Goat's Head Soup is fucking amazing.
It is.
I love it. I have it on vinyl. I have it on CD. Fucking great album. So that's my number 8.
Awesome.
Right on. Jerry, what's your number 8?
Joesph brought it up I think it was last pick or the pick before. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John, man. Fucking what an amazing fucking record that is, dude. Elton in the 70s, man. I mean, he kind of popped out in the 80s, but man, his 70s stuff, man, that was pure fucking Elton.
The Lion King soundtrack.
Elton and Bernie at their best, man. Fucking great duo. One of the best duos in music history, in my opinion, man.
No, that run from the self-titled all the way through Captain Fantastic
absolutely.
is just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he was
even Rock of the Westies was really good.
Yeah, it is. I like Rock of the Westies,
but it wasn't his best. But it has,
yeah.
No, but
it's better than fucking the Lion King soundtrack.
I like some of those. I like some of those songs.
Hey, man, he made money off it, man.
Whatever.
But no, I mean, yeah, you mentioned that, Joesph, man. His run in the 70s is just fucking amazing, dude. It's a shame these people got to get old and retire, man. But I hope he stays retired.
Yeah, me too.
He may pop up and do a show every now and then, which is cool. But I think he wants to spend time with his family and stuff, which is cool. So, if I never said thank you, Elton John, for all the fucking great music, thank you, dude. And this is proof. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road is my number 9.
8.
8, excuse me.
Hey,
that's where being a good host is.
Travi, keeping it legit.
I love Elton John.
Yeah.
All right, number 8, Joesph.
Alrighty, time for a little bit of karaoke. This one goes, welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends.
I do like that song. That is a great Emerson, Lake and Palmer song.
And
I didn't know that was them. I never knew that was them. I like that.
That was
song.
them, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Carnival 9 First Impression Part 2 on this album. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. That was the title of the live album that they put out after this album. This is an album I grew up on. I mean, this is an album that my dad has had since I was a baby, and it was an album that he grew up on. And for me, I've heard this album so much in my life, and I think it's such an amazing album. Opens with the epic Jerusalem into one of my favorite instrumentals of all time, Toccata. I mean, the stuff that Carl Palmer does. He's all over the place.
He is a great drummer, dude.
Fix your camera, Mark.
Palmer does.
Asia.
Fix your camera, Mark.
My camera went down? Yeah. I see. Go, keep going.
Toccata, I mean, Carl Palmer's on like drum synthesizers and on the timpani and all over the drum kit and the gong and everything, and it's amazing. And then Still You Turn Me On is such a beautiful track with like some really cool, weird keyboards in it. Benny the Bouncers, whatever. But then you get into the heart of this album, which is Carnival 9. And I think every part of it is so different and unique. And there's like this weird, I always call it the Tom and Jerry part in the middle, where they do this like kind of tropical, like marimba stuff. And it's so cool. And it reminds me of like a Tom and Jerry chase scene. And it's just amazing. I mean, this is just one of, like Andy said, this kind of defies prog. Like, it's not even like, prog is too narrow of a term to define what this album is. And I think that is why actually a lot of prog people don't necessarily love Emerson, Lake and Palmer. That's kind of like, it's too out there for a lot of prog people. And I think
kind of their own entity. They really
they are. They are. They're Emerson, Lake and Palmer. They can do everything from like,
I never knew they sang that song.
Yeah. They can do everything from like little ragtime westerns to
I do like this song.
Big organ church epics to like avant-garde instrumentals, and I think it's just amazing and one of my favorite albums from them.
Oh no, could it be a new band that Joe gets me into? No.
Check this album out. Check this album out, Jerry. I really think you'll like this album. I really think you'll like this album because it's such a weird album, but it's so cool.
I like that song you brought up the first time.
Yeah.
Great.
And Tarkus is just as good. I love Tarkus.
Tarkus.
God.
The first four really.
Yeah.
Jerry, I think you might really like the self-titled too. The self-titled.
I'll give them a listen.
I think we did a review on Freeform with Leah. I didn't like that Tarkus album.
I bet you know the song "Lucky Man," right?
I love Lucky Man. Lucky Man's my favorite song.
That's on the debut. That's on the self-titled.
And that other song, "Welcome to the Show That Never Ends." Come inside, come inside. I love that song too. Yeah, I do like a lot of them. I don't like full albums.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah,
that's understandable.
It really is.
Honestly, I think that I wouldn't be as huge of a fan of them if I didn't grow up with them like I did. Like, they were a band that I got from a very early age just because of my dad. So that's one of the reasons that I am such a huge fan of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. But honestly, if you've not listened to their albums, I highly recommend that. This is a great way to get into it because of some of the stuff that people have heard before with Carnival 9. And it's just this album in general is just a great kind of example of their musicianship.
Cool. All right, Travis, it's your show, buddy. Where are we at?
Yep.
Andy,
wake up.
Andy, you're number 8.
Yeah, my number 8. Y'all just said that there's not a good Yes album in 1973.
There's not.
I disagree.
Relayer.
No, that's 74.
Oh, 74.
What is?
Relayer.
Oh, well, no. 73 is Tales from the Topographic.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one too.
I hate that
album.
Oh,
that one's awful. Sorry, Andy.
That's not my favorite Yes album at all. No.
You know, the
Topographic Ocean's the good background.
The thing with this is you got to take it for what it is. Yeah. It is one song per side. Yeah. Each song has a meaning. One song is about Earth, another one is about religion, and they each have a meaning for it. And if you break down the songs, each side can be cut down to different suites because it's not just one big long song. They do break it up into suite 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So I love this album. I think this is what really resembles what Yes is. And they will depart from this after this album. This was their grand prog. What's the word I'm looking for?
The magnum opus,
the opus.
Of the prog?
No, it was more. It was a very indulgent album.
Yes,
big time.
Well, this is the album that caused Rick Wakeman to quit the band.
Very self-indulgent, but Rick Wakeman was one of the most self-indulgent guys on there.
He was a character.
He was that album he did about fucking King Arthur.
Oh
my God, it was horrible.
No, it was Henry VIII. Henry VIII.
Whatever it was.
He's a character,
English dude. Some English.
One of my favorite stories from Rick Wakeman is on that tour. He talks about in his autobiography.
Yeah.
When they would play those songs, because they played the whole album, and a lot of that was not him. Like, a lot of it doesn't feature his keyboards very heavily at all on some of the tracks. And he literally, at the beginning of one of the shows, when they started the first song, he sent one of the roadies out to a restaurant to get him a bowl of curry. and they brought it back to him, and he sat underneath his keyboard stand eating a bowl of curry while they were playing the song. Because
I can believe that.
Because he was that bored with it.
And he's that kind of character that would do that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and another great album that he made solo was Knights of the Round Table, the King Arthur.
Yeah, that one, the King Arthur album. That's what I was talking about.
Well, no, he also did he did the 6 Wives of Henry VIII as well.
Yeah.
But the Knights of the Round Table is what I was talking about. That was horrible.
I'll tell you what, if they cut it down, I think Ritual is an amazing song. I think side 4, Ritual, is beautiful, amazing song. I really like side 1, Revealing Science of God, as well. The second and third sides I just can't get into.
Yeah, but that is my number 8.
Right. Well, you know what? I have a soft spot for Tales of Topographic Oceans. One of my best friends, who's no longer with us, his favorite Yes song is Ritual. So I always think about him when I play that album. And I do like that album. I like Yes albums more than that, obviously, but I do have a soft spot for Tales of Topographic Oceans.
Oh yeah, there's better Yes albums.
Yeah.
But this is a good, you know what? It's a good background music album.
For me, if it was a single album instead of a double album, and side 1 was Revealing Science of God and side 2 was Ritual, I think it would move way higher up in my list. And
to me that's like Pink Floyd's Uma Guma, in my opinion. It's just too I don't know.
I think
stuff from Delta as well.
I think the best version of Ritual is the version on Yes shows.
We got that Pink Floyd episode coming out, that 3 albums in like 2 weeks.
Awesome.
Oh, sweet.
I'm excited. That was a really fun night.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
I think I want to move it up. I want to move it up.
Then we'll get to girls pretty soon. I reviewed that album.
That's in September. It's only a month away because we burned a lot of episodes to get to only 5 or 6.
That was a fun episode.
It was.
That was a rough one.
I just edited that today and put it up. It's already.
You're like 10 years gone, dude. Ugh.
He probably took out all of my ansers. He edited. You put like a fake voice in there.
I just put, you know what I put on that episode for Freeform Jerry? I said Jerry really wanted to rock out, so he picked girls. And I went he.
Before I get to my number
you can put that. Go ahead. Did you put that up? Put it out.
I did put that up. No, I got that. It's in the queue.
What? Joesph, was the first Kansas album released in 1973?
It was not.
Oh, okay. Did they release an album in 1973?
They did not.
No.
No, Kansas.
Kansas, no. 76, right?
74.
Oh, no, that's 73. Okay. That's 73 Motley Crue album could have made my list.
But when did Journey from Martabont? When did that come out?
74.
Oh, okay.
That's the debut. That's the debut.
Okay,
by that much.
All right. Well, number 8. People mentioned this already. ZZ Top, Tres Hombres. That's my favorite ZZ Top album by a landslide. It kicks off with the 1-2 punch of Waiting for the Bus, Going into Jesus, Just Left Chicago.
Oh, dude, that's fucking
awesome. Master of Sparks, killer riff, great driving song. Of course, LaGrange, Chic, Move Me On Down the Line. Hot Blue and Righteous. It's just, and Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers.
Yeah.
Great song, great heavy metal kind of song.
Tesla does a great version of that song.
They do.
By the way.
And Motorhead does
a great
version.
Motorhead does it, yeah.
Motorhead does a better version of it.
Yeah. ZZ, that's my favorite ZZ Top album by far.
Same here.
Mine too.
I don't know about by far and it being a landslide. There were a lot.
I wouldn't say by far, but it's my favorite.
It's my favorite too, but
I really did like Eliminator. Eliminator is probably my second favorite.
Eliminator is cool if you had a real
for me. It's Tres Hombres and then the first album.
Yeah. Number 7.
I like the albums where they went back to their roots in the 90s. Really good albums.
Those were good albums.
Antenna was great. They had some great shit, man. They went back to the roots,
I'm your burger,
and they let Frank play drums again. So that was awesome.
Yeah. Mark, what's your number 7? Mark, what's your number 7?
Somebody already picked this. I think it was you, Travis. Montrose.
I'm surprised.
Rock candy, baby.
I thought that'd be your number 1.
Sweet and sticky. Oh hell no! You're rock. I love that fucking album. Fucking that.
Space
Station number 9. Fucking great Bad Motor Scooter, even Dr. Fuck makes fun of that. Why doesn't he say Bad Motorcycle? I don't give a shit. Bad Motor Scooter rules. I fucking love this fucking album. Paper Money, and not so much. But Sammy has a lot of hits and misses, but so does Dave Lee Roth. But
also features one of the greatest underrated drummers, in my opinion, Mr. Dennis Carmassi.
But he was a dick to fucking Ann and Nancy Wilson, though. Yeah. That's why I give him a little bit of shit.
Yeah, you know what he said. You know what he's fat. Exactly. He said if you lose weight, we'd make more money, is what he said to her.
Yeah, he was a dick. And that's why I don't respect him anymore.
And Howard Lee said, Howard Lee said, "You're gone." Right when he said that, like a day or two.
I love
Get the fuck out of here, Denny. Fuck you. You don't fucking disgrace one of the best fucking female vocalists of all time in fucking Ann Wilson.
That's pretty
fuck you, Denny Carmassi. I don't care if you play with Sammy. You are a fucking asshole.
And Ronnie Montrose has one of the greatest guitar tones.
Yeah,
ever.
He does.
Oh yeah.
Love him. Anyways,
So that was my number 7.
Number 7, Jerry.
Okay, my next two picks. You know how you say this is one of my favorite songs of all time? People always say that. Well, my next two picks are actually seriously in my top 5 as favorite songs of all time. And the first one's from 1973's Desperado album by the Eagles. The song Desperado.
Dude, I didn't pick that. That's on my honorable mention.
Same here.
Fucking great album, though.
The song Desperado itself, man, it's still as fresh as when it comes out. I never turn it off when I hear it on the radio. It's just an amazing fucking tune. The whole album's a good tune, man.
Tequila Sunrise. Do some karaoke there, bitch.
You better let somebody love you.
Let somebody love you. We do karaoke on this show, man. Let's get the fuck with it.
Before it's too
late. Man, what a fucking tune, dude. I mean, come on, man.
My favorite Don Henley sung Eagles song.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
That one in Hotel California.
Yeah.
My favorite. Or even Wasted Time is
Wasted Time.
Yeah. Wasted Time is my favorite.
I heard that. I was listening to I got like my new car, I got like a couple free months of XM. And I heard fucking The Last Resort. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Hey,
I forgot what a great song that was.
You want my email and password to fucking XM? You could use the app.
I might, because man, what a fucking tune that is, team.
They play some good shit on XM.
I will give you my app password, bitch.
I'll use it because fucking I got it till November, I think. But man.
Oh dude, but the app has hundreds of more channels.
Oh yeah. And they all
I like to hear Howard again, to be honest with you.
They have deep track channels for like every.
Oh, Jim, don't talk about deep tracks. That makes me sad because Jim Ladd died.
Yeah. They have like.
That's another news article you could have done. Jim Ladd is being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
He is?
Yes.
Ooh, I gotta see that shit. That is the guy who got me into listening to radio.
He should have been in 20 years ago.
Yeah.
He should have been. He's wonderful.
Is Redbeard in it? Redbeard's pretty good too.
Chris Elia's in it?
Yeah.
No, Redbeard. There's a Redbeard guy.
I'm just kidding with you, dude.
I love Chris Elia. He could fuck off sometimes.
All right. So, Joseph, what's your number 7?
Hey, he knows I'm fucking with him. That's cool.
All right. So, of course, like any list I do on this channel, I have to include an album from one of my all-time favorite artists, featuring a song that would later be performed live on SNL with the guest stylings of Don Pardo, and that is the great Frank Zappa, Overnight Sensation. Well, I am the slime on the video. Cruising along on your
all right. I am not knowledgeable about Frank's music at all. I think I need to die.
Dude, Frank rules. Everything I've heard by him is fucking great.
I know the guy. I love the guy.
Yeah.
I love Frank Zappa.
I'm not like Andy and fucking Joesph on Frank Zappa, but what I heard I liked.
I'm a huge Zappa fan.
Oh, I didn't know Travi. So
yeah, my dad got me into them.
But yeah, Overnight Sensation has a ton of great tracks. Camarillo Brillo, Zombie Wolf, I'm the Slime, Dynamo Hum, Montana. I might be moving to Montana.
But I just gotta say I just gotta say, sorry, Joesph, but Frank Zappa, I gotta give credit where's credit's due. Ian Wadley. Yep. I said, what Frank Zappa album should I listen to? And I bought it on CD. I just bought it because Ian told me. Fucking Zoot Allures.
Yeah, that's
fucking
always
great
the one.
Fucking
that's
album,
always
dude.
the one he recommends somebody
That's
listen
always,
to first.
and then I got into the other
What's
ones.
it called again?
Zoot Allures.
Zoot
Allures.
Allures. Okay.
It's really good, Jerry.
Wind Up Working in a Gas Station.
Yeah.
Torture Never Stops is one of the greatest songs.
But Jerry, I think Al and I will agree. You would want to start with Apostrophe or Overnight.
That's a good album too. That's a
2-pack. The CD I have, it's both Apostrophe and Overnight Sensation.
Yeah.
I like him because he's serious and he's weird as fuck.
Apostrophe is the one with Don't Eat the Yellow Snow on it.
Yeah, Don't Eat the Yellow Snow. And Jack Bruce is on there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that.
Ainsley Dunbar plays drums on there.
I do. There's very few that you guys recommended me that I didn't like, so I'll definitely listen to them.
No, I need to listen to some Zappa, dude. You like Valley Girl, didn't you?
I know the song. You mean the movie or the song?
For sure.
I don't know. I know the movie.
That's a good song, but you could hear how he's singing and then he lets his daughter sing. But the thing is, when Frank Zappa is saying things, he's saying things serious.
Like, oh my God.
And his daughter's taking it the other way. It's like night and day from what he's singing, from what she's singing. And it's fucking like amazing fucking artistry.
Like Mr. Boo-Foo. Lord Kitty Boo-Foo.
If it just an additional little fun fact about the this album, Overnight Sensation, backing vocals from Tina Turner and the Ikettes.
Yep. And the thing is that when they asked Ike Turner if it's okay if Tina and the Ikettes were on there, he said, yeah, sure, no one's going to hear this album anyway. Little did they know Frank Zappa became a legend and Ike Turner became a piece of shit.
Well,
so
he was always a piece of shit.
I hope he's, you know what? Can I rant for a second? Fuck Ike Turner. I hope he's rotting in the pits of hell.
He probably is, but you never know. You could always accept Jesus Christ at the last minute.
You know what? I'll be spitting and shitting on his grave. Fuck that guy.
I forgive a lot of people except my former co-host. But keep
I don't forgive, whatever. But that's a great choice, Joesph. More on that in a second.
It's not on my list because when I did the show before, this is my number 2.
There you go.
Was Overnight Sensation, so I didn't do it again. But this one was not on my list. Is it my turn? Shall I go? My number 7 has already been mentioned, but I'm going to mention it again. $1 Billion Babies by Alice Cooper.
This has to be on all our lists. This is going to be
one of the most amazing albums by him. I think this is the last one with the original band before they broke up.
No, Muscle of Love came out after that.
Muscle of Love. I always forget about Muscle of Love being right between that and Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're both such great albums, and Muscle of Love was just okay. Sandwiched between two classics. But for now, $1 Billion Babies is my number 7.
Wonderful choice. More on that later again. Number 7, I'm tag teaming with Joesph here. The one and only Frank Zappa, Overnight Sensation. And I gotta say, funny how I got into Frank Zappa. My dad and I were watching a DVD of Frank Zappa, and there was a music video for Peaches and Regalia. And I heard that song, and that piqued my interest. So when I went to the library, I found Hot Rats, and I found Absolutely Free. I picked those two up. I played them nonstop. I became a Frank Zappa fan instantly. And then when I heard that Ian and so many other people on the page were fans too, I'm like, thank God I found my tribe, you know? So Frank Zappa, Camarillo Barillo, Dynamo Hum, I'm the Slime, Dirty Love.
You will never find a better song about a
Oh my God, Montana! you got the sexy, you got the sexy Ruth Underwood on the marimbas.
Oh yeah,
just fucking A! It's a great
album.
From
that era, one of the great lost TV specials of all time, in my opinion. Token of his.
That's the one I watched. I love it. I'm a huge, and like you, Joesph and Andy, I am a huge Frank Zappa fan.
Yeah.
My dad saw the Mothers of Invention in 1969.
Nice.
He saw them at the Miami racetrack. It was Jimi Hendrix, Steppenwolf, and the Mothers of Invention.
Ooh.
And huge fan.
Yeah, my uncle got me into them, and he had recorded on a blank cassette. It was "Shake Your Booty."
Nice.
And he saw Frank Zappa in 1980 when he was when my uncle was in the army. He saw him at El Paso at the UTEP stadium, and he always talked to me about him. So when I was about, I guess, in high school, my friends and I started to get them into Zappa. We dropped acid one night.
Oh shit!
And,
You did
I put in Overnight Sensation for them. And my friend turned to me. I always remember on my trips, he turned to me and goes, "Dude, what the fuck is going on?"
Oh, don't forget. Baby snakes.
Dude, I've never dropped acid, Andy. You're a hard ass. You're a hard ass.
Fun, dude. It's fun.
It's not. No, it's not. Not for me. I had bad trip. I had more bad trips.
Not me, dude. I had.
There's a couple right near me. Baby snakes.
And like
when you're seeing hands coming out of posters, man, you're having a bad fucking trip, dude.
Oh, Jerry, you'd hate watching that TV special. Then it had a bunch of that claymation stuff in it.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite Frank Zappa song, Inca Roads.
Yep.
And Joesph, do you like the 60s Mothers of Invention stuff?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Oh, which one's your favorite?
Ooh, probably Freak Out.
Freak Out's great. I love all of them, honestly. I think they're all great.
We're only in it for the money.
See, I always with their history, I always find it hard to like where to draw the line with like when it stopped being the 60s Mothers. Because I really love the Weasels Rip My Flesh and Burnt Weenie Sandwich. That's like my favorite.
My guitar wants to kill your mama.
And that's still a lot of the 60s Mothers is on or on those albums.
Yeah, but he also redid them.
Yeah.
Because
that's why I was like, I don't know whether to count those albums or not.
You know, all I gotta say is Rutabaga.
I gotta put this down. You guys are talking a lot about Frank Zappa.
God, I love Frank Zappa. We gotta do a Frank Zappa show soon.
We should.
Yes. Yeah.
Top 11 songs, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, that's you couldn't do that.
How about top 21 and we just don't do any bullshit?
Maybe just top 11.
That would be an awful show for me.
Top 11 albums, maybe.
That could work.
I'm not saying it's an awful show because of the music, because I don't know shit about Frank Zappa.
Jerry could just be like the comic relief and just like write down all the albums that we picked.
I was like that on the Rush show. He had fucking Mark, Al Horta,
or freezing,
and Chris Elio.
Yeah,
I'm doing a Rush show. Holy fucking shit! I didn't get a word in ends-wise.
Hey Jerry, I'll send you a show because me, Al, and Brad did a top 10 Frank Zappa albums. I'll send you that.
All right.
Where are we at, Travis? He's
freezing
it's
up.
It's Mark's number 6.
You guys still here?
I'm on number 6.
Yeah.
So I go Leonard Skinner. Pronounce Leonard Skinner. Come on, you got 2 of the best songs of all time on there. Tuesday's Gone and Freebird.
Freebird rules.
You could just have 2 songs on
three of the best songs, Mark. 3.
What's the other one?
Simple Man.
Oh yeah, Simple Man. Yeah, I didn't want to say all of the good ones.
Give me 3 steps. I mean, it's
give me 3 steps. The whole album is just perfect. You can't go wrong with Leonard Skinner. Pronounce Leonard Skinner.
It's one of the best debut albums.
I'm glad I got to it first because I know one of you motherfuckers is going to come to this album.
Are we doing okay?
Yep.
Are we all good, guys?
Yep.
Okay.
We're here. So I just did my number 6, Travis.
Number 6. All right, Mark, kick it off.
I already did.
Oh, what did
Leonard
you choose,
Skinner
Mark?
debut.
Okay, because my thing was freezing up on me.
Yeah, we're up to Jerry.
Yeah, Leonard Skinner was my number 6.
Fuck you, Mark.
What did I do?
What's your number 6, Jerry?
Fuck you, Mark. That was my pick. When I said that, it was one of my these next 2 picks to be 2 of my favorite songs of all time. Tuesday Is Gone is one of my favorite songs of all time.
I'm glad I got that first.
Ever written. You know what? I was never crazy about Freebird, to be honest with you. I understand settlement of the song, I guess, but it was an okay song. It was definitely, I wouldn't even put it in their top 20 songs, in my opinion. They got
Wow.
That dual
Oh,
guitar
no.
lead, dude, is one of the best ever.
No, I think that shitty band in the '80s did a better cover of Freebird. I'm just kidding. No, you know what I'm talking about?
Jerry, you're losing all credibility here tonight.
It was like a mix of that song and
Baby, I Love Your Way.
Baby, I Love Your Way. Yeah.
I love that song. Don't judge. Anyways, you know
I'm
what?
just kidding.
You like Simply Red or the fucking the other one?
I like Simply Red.
Oh, you're an idiot.
You know what? I love that album, and to the retards that think that Shinedown did a better version of Simple Man.
Oh, it was good, but not even close.
You know who did a better version of Simple Man? Scorpions. They called it Always Somewhere.
All right.
Yeah, we just did a show on our other. Me and Andy's other show about Leonard Skinner. It was a lot of fun doing that one.
That was a great episode, by the way.
Absolutely fucking fantastic album, man.
Joesph, what's your number? Oh, sorry. Go. Joesph, what's your number 6?
All right. Well, fuck you both, actually. So,
we're all picking the same number.
It's all right. It's not on my list.
Yeah. I mean, 3 of the greatest songs of all time: "Tuesday's Gone," "Simple Man," "Freebird," right there. And then you add in stuff like "I Ain't the One," "Give Me 3 Steps," "Poison Whiskey." I mean, one of the great debut albums of
Mississippi
all time.
Kid.
Mississippi Kid. Things Going On. I mean, just personally, I think Freebird is one of the greatest songs of all time.
Thank you, Joesph.
I will never turn it off ever when it comes on the radio. I will never ever get tired of it, especially when that guitar solo kicks in. One of the great guitar duets of all time, in my opinion. And that, as someone who's not the world's biggest Rolling Stones fan, the video of them touring with the Rolling Stones, and when they played this song, they broke the Stones' rule about not walking out onto the tongue on the stage. And they all walked out together during the guitar solo for Freebird onto the tongue and basically said, you know what? Fuck you guys. We're just going to rock and roll. And I bet you any money that they blew the Stones off the stage that night.
Probably.
I bet you any money.
Did.
So my number 6, pronounced Leonard Skinner.
Great choice, and it did not make my list, but it's a great album. Andy, number 6.
The reason why I was late coming on, or 1 minute late, or like my boss calls me Mr. 902. Anyway, I was not able to find the CD. I know it's somewhere. I looked, but it's already been mentioned. My number 6, Iggy and the Stooges, Raw Power. From beginning to end, that album, the moment you press play on it, it kicks your ass, and you're exhausted by the end. That album is all Iggy and the Stooges. People talk, MC5. Fuck MC5. They were nowhere close to the Stooges.
Nope.
Oh, I love them.
Nope.
I like MC5.
Yeah, but they have one album.
The Stooges had
3 albums.
Okay.
Yeah, but the Stooges had power, and they showed it. And there were times that they didn't even know which way the songs were going to be going.
That inspired the Sex Pistols, and Ramones. Those albums were punk.
So I'm going with Raw Power, Iggy and the Stooges. And I was able to see the Stooges. Of course, it wasn't the original, but it was Iggy Pop, and he was still walking on people. He was jumping to the crowd, stepping on them without a shirt. My wife said, he's disgusting without a shirt. I said, that's the most beautiful man I've ever seen in my life.
He's not the most attractive fellow in the world. Come on.
Especially when he cuts himself with razor blades on stage.
But that dude's
Iggy Pop is a national treasure.
I love Iggy Pop.
That
and
is
it's like you wouldn't have Green Day. You wouldn't even have Blink 182 with fucking Stooges.
He's the one responsible.
Yeah.
You know, to me, the top 3 frontmen of all time are Mick Jagger, Iggy Pop, and David Lee Roth.
I never considered putting Iggy in there, but you're not wrong with that choice, Travis.
It'd be David Lee Roth, Iggy Pop, and whoever. After that,
his last
number 6
was really good.
I'm maybe Joesph will have this album on his list or as honorable mentions, but I don't know about you guys. But number 6, this band and album means the world to me. Number 6, Steely Dan, Countdown to Ecstasy.
I almost picked that one.
It was on my honorable mentions.
It was on my honorable mentions too.
It's one of my favorite. It probably is my favorite Steely Dan album. Kicks off with White Stuff, Razor Boy, Your Gold Teeth. My God, My Old School, Showbiz Kids with Rick Derringer on guitar, and then it ends with one of my favorite Steely Dan songs of all time, "King of the World."
A great song.
It's just a great album from Steely Dan. I mean, "Can't Buy a Thrill" was a great debut album, but it went from day and night.
There's not a bad Steely Dan album, by the way.
This was a big step up from the debut.
Yeah, it was, but it wasn't bad. The debut wasn't bad.
No, the debut had Dirty Work and Do It Again.
Everybody's covered Do It Again and Dirty
Reeling
Work.
in the Years.
Reeling in the Years.
Styx did Dirty Work.
Yeah.
I love me some Steely Dan. Very important band in my childhood. So that's my number 6. Number 5, Mark.
Oh, come on. You know I'm a huge Beatle fan. Why wouldn't I pick Paul McCartney and Wings, Band on the Run?
I forgot about that album until after I made my list, but it definitely would have made it.
Oh my God. It's a perfect album from beginning to end. You can't go wrong with this album. This is like the pinnacle of Paul McCartney and Wings, is this fucking album, to me at least. Right. Everybody likes Rosewood Speedway or whatever.
Red Rose Speedway.
This is my fucking album right here.
It's their best album by far.
It's the best album. It's a pinnacle. That's what I said. It's the pinnacle of Paul McCartney and Wings. Fucking love it. So I'm pick Paul McCartney, Wings, Band on the Run.
Dude, I cannot get into Paul McCartney and Wings. I just can't. It's
even
weird.
Band on the Run?
No, I can't. It's weird.
Weird.
And I love his Beatles stuff and I love his solo stuff, but I just can't get to Wings. I'm sorry, Mark. I didn't mean to make you fall asleep, but that's what
I'm falling asleep.
Oh.
No, but Wings makes me fall asleep. So.
Oh, you don't like Band on the Run?
No, I hate that fuck. No, I like that song better than Silly Love Songs, but
I like Jet
rules.
Jet.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion. It's all good.
That live album they did was amazing.
Yeah.
With his wife mimicking in the background, not doing anything.
Dude, I saw Paul McCartney with his wife playing keyboards on the Flowers in the Dirt tour at the LA Forum, where I saw Sammy Hagar last night, by the way. I didn't really care about her because Paul was kicking ass. There you go.
Yeah, but which Paul live album is badass?
The fucking Wings Over America.
Oh, the one that have more than half Beatles songs? Well, yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, he wrote them.
Andy just spitting fire tonight.
Yeah, I love it. Keep it going.
I love it too, man. Right on. Number 5, Jerry.
It ain't easy living like a gypsy. Tell you, honey, how I feel. Aerosmith's Dave fucking Bew, man. What a great album that was, dude. I mean, fucking Dream On's on it. I mean, Write Me a Letter, Walking the Dog. I mean, just
that's a perfect album, dude.
It really. I don't really care for what's that one song on it?
One Way Street.
One Way Street. That's it.
I love that song now.
But every other song.
My least favorite is Write Me a Letter.
I kind of like that song.
I like that song.
Yeah, Moving Out. Another great song.
But all those songs sound better live later.
Sure. Yeah.
I found in 1970. I found the reissue from the 70s at a record store for like $10.
Listen to Rockin' the Joint. That's a great fucking Aerosmith live album.
It is. It's a great album. I love it.
Rockin' the Joint is one of the best ever.
Fantastic, dude.
Fantastic album.
Yeah.
Joesph, what's your number 5?
All right. Little trivia question for everybody here. Probably won't know the answer to this. I'd be really surprised if anyone did. In the late 90s, there was an episode of Saturday Night Live that featured the great Garth Brooks as the guest. And in one segment that you can actually watch on YouTube, he is trying to write a song, and the devil, played by Will Ferrell, shows up to help him try to write a song, and it's hilarious. When the devil appears...
it wasn't John Lovitz?
No, it was Will Ferrell that played the devil. Okay.
John Lovitz is a great devil, by the way.
Yeah, great devil. When the devil appears in a puff of smoke, they play a song off this next album over the loudspeaker. Does anyone know what that song is?
probably know.
I remember watching it, but I don't remember the tune.
I don't
I don't remember the tune, but I remember the one where they're sitting around the campfire.
Yeah.
He's like, you come flying down onto the stage, and all the lights and say, "Thank God I'm a cowboy."
Yep. It's an album that I'd be very surprised if it wasn't on Travis's list later on. But the song that they played on Saturday Night Live is part one of a two-part song on this album. The second part is much more famous, and that is Lark's Tongues and Aspic by King Crimson.
Ooh.
They played Lark's Tongues and Aspic part one.
Never would have guessed
the
that
intro
in
music for the devil showing up on Saturday Night Live, which is really just weird and like out of left field. But Lark's Tongues and Aspic, one of my favorite King Crimson albums. Of course, the title track, Lark's Tongues and Aspic, Exiles, Easy Money, Talking Drum. By far my favorite lineup of King Crimson right here with Robert Fripp, John Wetton, Bill Bruford, and then with David Cross and Jamie Muir on like percussion and violins and stuff. What a run these guys were on in the mid-70s. Lark's Tongues and Aspic, one of my favorite King Crimson albums.
And that's one of my favorite Beat Club videos for King Crimson's performing.
Mm-hmm.
Lark's Tongues and Aspic Part 1.
Yes.
Bill Bruford has like overalls on.
Yep.
I love it. Easy money. Boing, boing, boing. I love that part, man. It's a great album. All right. Andy, what is your number 5?
Yeah, my next 5 are gonna. Well, I don't know. I don't know what my next 5. I don't know. There's a theme. There might. Because in 3 of these albums have the same drummer. In my next 3 albums. So I'm going to start off with Mahavishnu Orchestra, Bird of Fire.
Yes. Great job, Andy.
With a great Billy Cobham on here. The great John McLaughlin might be one of the greatest guitar players of all time. He was one of the godfathers and forerunners, right next to what's the guy I'm thinking about? The horn player. My God,
Miles Davis. He was in Miles Davis's band.
Rock fusion to the masses.
Him and Miles Davis and Chick Corea all.
Yeah, Chick Corea, which is I got some Chick Corea back here, but Mahavishnu, this was their second or third album, I think third. Birds of Fire, but their last one with the original members. It's a fantastic album.
I got that on CD. It's a good album.
I was going back and forth between because From Nothingness to Eternity, the live album also came out in '73.
Yeah, but it was a live. That's why I didn't put it on.
But it was all new songs. That's why it was kind of like a Roxy and Elsewhere kind of thing.
Right.
I was thinking about it, but I didn't put both of them made my honorable mentions. Yeah. Amazing albums.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Yeah. And in fact, I had bought the original albums. It was a 5-pack. I think I have the same one.
I have the same one.
And man, the sound of it is just fantastic. And then I actually found the Inner Mounting Flame on vinyl.
Nice. I have that on vinyl.
And it was $1. And it was clean. It was $1, dude. I couldn't believe it. I think I pissed in my pants. And then after they cleaned it up, I bought it. So yeah. Awesome stuff.
Did they charge you extra for cleaning it up?
I slipped away.
Quite literally.
Funny thing, I'm starting to get into jazz fusion. I like Chick Corea, and I like Miles Davis. Where do I start with Mahavishnu Orchestra?
Intermounting Flame.
Intermounting Flame.
I would say that one.
Intermounting Flame, Birds
of
Fire.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Any of the first 3. So Intermounting Flame, Birds of Fire, or From Nothingness to Eternity. All amazing.
I'll go check those out. I really like what I've heard so far when I was listening to jazz fusion. So
that I'll check out. If you haven't listened to Headhunters by Herbie Hancock, definitely check that one out.
That was also from '73.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that made my honorable mentions.
You guys are gonna laugh. You guys are gonna laugh when you find out how I got into jazz. You're probably gonna laugh at me for the singer. I actually got into jazz when I heard Nora Jones. Her first
Oh,
album.
really?
I got into jazz when I heard Sting's first solo album.
Oh yeah, Dream of the Blue.
But
Trail,
I was so
yeah.
impressed with that Nora Jones album. I thought it was just incredible sound, and ever
Yeah.
since then I've been getting into more jazz.
Joesph, will you send me a link to that Herbie Hancock album later?
Yeah.
Well, I like her. I like Rocket by Herbie
Wonderful,
Hancock.
thank you, man. That's
That
great.
video used to give me nightmares when I was a kid, dude.
That video was so
that was
fucking
a
cool. I
crazy
like the
video.
robots playing shit. It's like
Yeah.
That video fucking gave me nightmares, man. The legs walking with the lingerie.
Yep.
I love that video, man. That was cool.
The dog. It's
That
just
should have
weird,
been one of
man.
my best MTV videos, by the way.
I was just thinking about that too when y'all were
Yeah.
mentioning.
Okay, so
all right, where we at?
So my number 5, you know, I had to have my favorite band on this list, right? Deep Purple. Who do we think we are? Number 5. You know, this album gets a lot of hate from people, honestly.
I'm one of them.
Oh,
I love Woman
I
from
kind of
Tokyo.
thought that when I put it up later.
I love Woman from Tokyo, but that's about it.
I'll eat this album up with a buttery biscuit. I think this album slams. Of course, Woman from Tokyo. That's the obvious favorite track on the album. Thank you for sending me the message, Joesph.
Yep, I'm gonna send you the Mahavishnu one too.
Wonderful, thanks. But Mary Long, I think that should have been an FM staple too. Mary Long's great. Rat Bat Blue, featuring the best John Lord keyboard solo in my opinion. Just my opinion. Smooth Dancer, Super Trooper, just a great album. I don't like Our Lady. Not a fan of that one. I would have had Painted Horse, the last track on it. But it's just a great album. Not as great as the past 3 Mach 2 albums, but it's still strong in my opinion. So Deep Purple, who do we think we are?
Yeah, I picked
Mark,
that my number
4.
11, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Mark, what's your number 4? I mean, number 5. Number 4.
Number 4. Yeah, my number 4. And Jerry probably has this higher in his list, but I can't put it higher in this list because if you guys all listen to Freeform or BS, you know I hate the fucking grunge. I hate that fucking song with a fucking passion. But House is the Holy, other than the crunch, is a fucking great album. They took that song off, it'd be a perfect fucking album.
You need to find the fucking bridge, dude. You need to find the fucking
bridge. Fuck the bridge. They could blow up the fucking bridge. Just take that song out and it'd be a perfect fucking album. They ain't James Brown. Fucking hate the crunch. That's my number 4. House
I want to tell you about my kids.
That's probably your number 1. Watch. That's your number 1.
Could be.
All right, right on. Jerry?
All right. My next one is well, you guys are gonna fucking freak when you find out that the next album's actually better than this one, but I don't care. But I'm gonna go with Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath for my number 4, man.
A great album, dude.
It's hard to believe that my favorite song by Black Sabbath is actually a fucking slow ballad. Spiral Architect is my favorite. No, Spiral Architect.
Amazing track. Amazing track.
Love the acoustic opening.
Song, yeah.
You know what's weird? What's weird about that fucking song is it's a great driving tune. I don't know why. When I drive, it's
it is.
It wakes me up.
I love listening to it in the car.
But man, Killing Yourself to Live, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, just fucking, National Acrobats on that. Just a great fucking album. Now, I'm sure that one's going to show up on a couple other people's lists coming up.
I already picked it.
You bet your Aunt Nellie it is.
Dude, what did I pick?
How'd you know I had an Aunt? How'd you know I had an Aunt Nellie?
I picked that at number Jerry. I picked that at number 10.
Oh, that's way too fucking high, man.
Yeah.
Well, I said any of these albums could be higher, but I had to go make a list.
It made your list though, so okay, we'll give it. We'll give it to you.
I'm gonna go into detail why I love that album later on.
Yeah. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
Wonderful choice, Joesph. Number 4.
Well, if anyone remembers earlier in this show what I said about what I think about my number 4 and where I think it might show up on Jerry's list. Hey, lady, you got the love I need.
Maybe
more than enough.
Oh, darling.
Possibly my favorite Led Zeppelin song is "Over the Hills and Far Away."
That's a great song, dude.
The Rain song. Dancing Days, No Quarter, The Ocean, even the crunge.
It could have been number 1, but the crunge ruined
even the crunge.
I love the crunge.
No, not the crunch.
What an album this is.
Dire Maker's horrible.
I love Dire Maker.
Oh.
It's Dire Maker.
Don't have to go. It's Jamaica.
I love it.
Sure Maker.
It's Jamaica. It's you pronounce it like the country, Jamaica.
Yeah.
Right.
Jamaica. Yeah.
Right.
It's Jamaican music is what it is.
Yeah.
I love that song.
I call it a great song.
Great.
That's an awesome drum opening too.
Yeah.
You know what? It's got a groove, right?
Oh.
You're not gonna get groove out of me tonight, man. Maybe
we
I'm
gotta get a
freeform, but not
groove
on
out of you, Jerry.
All right. So that is my number 4. I'm going to. I forgot to grab a prop. I'm gonna grab a prop real quick.
Okay.
I think Tire Maker in Jamaican stands for sucks ass.
Hey, Andy, you know what that Yes album was missing that you brought up earlier?
What?
Trevor Rabin.
Oh shit!
I agree with that, Jerry.
All right.
No, I knew Andy always hated that song, so I get it.
Jerry's going through some changes. It's
Hey,
okay.
he hates that song, but I hate the crunch, so we hate one song on that album.
Yeah.
That's why it's my number 4. There you go.
All right, Andy, what's your number 4, dude?
My number 4 has already been talked about, but I'm going to mention it again. It was mentioned by Skippy over there. If anyone's going to have an Aunt Nelly, would be someone named Skippy. Desperado by the Eagles.
Oh yeah, fucking great album.
This is a great album. The song that is very underrated is Saturday Night. Mm-hmm. I can't stress how much I love that song. The first time I heard that song was on a 8-track that my mother had. It was on Eagles 80 live. And whatever happened to Saturday Night, it just fits the concept of this album so perfectly. When the railroads moved in, whoever was in the train stole his girl away. He bought her a ring. It was so great.
I'm thinking all the way from their debut to the long run. Did they really have a bad song?
A bad song? Wow. Maybe
a bad song. A song that's like
bad
good.
Song.
I didn't like the Disco Strangler.
Yeah, I was just
I like that.
I love that song.
I'm trying to think.
But I can see what you're saying, Jerry, because they're masters at their craft.
I love the concept on this album. It's such a great great atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yes. And every album from their debut up to the long run, it all kind of falls in a theme of itself, where where each song stands. When you hear an Eagles song, you know exactly what album that is. It's pretty neat how
their track placement I think is awesome too.
Their track.
They got their track listings. They're perfect, man.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Their first album, there's covers on there and stuff, but they were still good. I mean,
but the covers, I didn't know that there were covers. I just
like Old 65. That was a Tom Waits song. That's a great
55.
Yeah, man.
Old 55 is on not on that album.
Yeah, no, I know that. I'm just saying songs in general.
Right.
That's on the border. That's my favorite Eagles album.
That is one of the you sit down at sunset and light one up. Ooh.
And shout out to who's the fucking country guy that's singing with them now.
Travis, I don't know.
Vince Gill. He does.
Hey,
he sings
on the border is my favorite Eagles song.
He sings Old 55 and it sounds fucking amazing.
Oh, jeez, I haven't heard him do it. I'll have to look it up.
It's on video on YouTube. Him doing.
I love Glenn Frey, and he
incredible.
does a good thing of Glenn Frey.
Vince Gill's actually, I think he's doing a great job filling in. I think he is, man.
Having both him and Glenn's son in the band is awesome.
Well, Glenn's son left.
Yeah, he came back.
He came back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's good.
He was back for this last tour.
Oh, okay.
But,
he left for like a year.
But Hotel California will have to be my favorite album still.
Yeah.
Mine is On the Border. I love On the Border.
On the Border's great. James Dean.
James Dean.
But
too fast to live, too young to die.
Every song on Hotel California is just
dude, On the Border too.
The long run.
The song On the Border is up there for me.
I'll tell you what. Just for me, any album with Wasted Time and New Kid in Town on it.
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, you got Life in the Fast Lane too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The title track.
Yeah, it's
Great of Love is just as
Pretty
good.
Pretty
But
Maid's all
I
in a
love On the
row.
Border
It's all in a
because
row.
they show the fucking
Pretty
CIA
Maid's,
getting in there
holy
and
shit.
shit.
Oh, dude, that faded. Oh, that faded. God dang.
Hey, but
Okay,
you never
here's
hear
the only-
you're in
here's the
some
only time
trouble,
I'll ever
boy.
see-
We know where you've been.
Here's the only time you'll ever hear me say something bad about the Rock Metal Combat podcast. Neither one of them like the Eagles, and I think that is
I've heard them. Yeah.
criminal.
I think Ian does.
No, he said he likes.
No, he doesn't.
They don't.
He likes a couple songs off the long run.
They're,
They just
they're
said it on
like
the last.
the dude. They hate the Eagles, man.
They just said it on. He just said it on the last episode. He likes
really?
Disco. He likes Disco Strangler and In the City, and that's it.
Oh, okay. Well, I love the Eagles.
They're wrong.
Really,
Yeah.
really,
No, they are wrong.
They are very wrong.
Very
I love
wrong.
the
Hey,
Eagles.
We all
I'm
have
gonna say
opinions.
Dr.
Say,
Fuck and Ian,
you
you're
know
wrong.
what?
I said Dr. Fuck's name first, so there you go.
Hey, you know
Yeah, but
what? They
then-
love they love the Misfits, and I can't stand them. So it's all I can't stand the Misfits. So yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, but the thing is
Well,
that
I'm the same way with you, Travis. I can't stand them either.
in
I
the
mean,
I
we're
love
Hey,
wrong.
but
the Misfits,
Dr.
I just
Fuck
don't like
likes
What,
Chinese
guys?
democracy, and that's science.
And
So-
Andy
I
was
like
trying to say
Chinese
something.
democracy. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
What were you
well-
saying, Andy?
yeah. Well, In the City was not supposed to be on that album.
I know.
It was supposed to
And
be on the Joe Walsh album,
Yeah.
but they
Okay.
didn't have anything else, and they kind of coerced Joe Walsh to give it to
They
them.
did.
What was in the Outsiders, man?
Warriors,
the
Warriors.
Warriors, yeah, the
Yeah.
Warriors.
I much prefer the solo version to the one on Long Run.
I
Yeah,
like them both.
My favorite Eagles song is "These Shoes." I mean,
Great
Oh,
track.
great.
oh,
Great
that's a
song,
good
dude.
song.
That's my favorite one.
I
It's a
love
bit
the
more
long
than
run.
Sweet
I used
Shoes.
to worry a lot.
Yeah.
I used to
I love
worry
the-
a
I love
lot.
all the-
I used
Heartache
to
Tonight.
stay out to the break of day.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I
Desperado.
can't
Just,
get-
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
just
can't
really-
get-
Desperado's a great
song.
song too.
No, the song, just the song.
I'll tell you what though, you can just see how great of a catalog they had. That we're literally talking about
Exactly.
like every
It's like
album
we
that they
went
ever put
on
out.
Eagles tangent
Yeah.
right now.
It's like you
That's
gotta-
how great
you-
they
you like-
are.
You know,
You got to think
I
hard.
know-
Did they
I
have a
know-
bad song? Did they have a
No.
bad
I grew
song?
up. I
don't
I
think
grew
so.
up. I grew up listening to them. My
Yeah.
my second favorite Eagles song is "Lion Eyes."
I think one of
that's
the
my
favorite.
worst
That's my
songs by
favorite.
them is I can't tell
Love
you
that.
why, but I love
Yeah,
that
I'm
song.
not
Love
a
that.
huge I'm not
Oh,
a huge fan
dude.
of I Can't Tell You Why.
Oh,
I
Timothy
love I
Smith's
Can't Tell You
vocals
Why,
on that
but it's
song.
still their
Awesome.
worst song.
I love his voice, but I'm not a huge fan of the song.
Oh, I love that song.
No, that
That would
song
be
he
a
did.
good-
That song
hey,
he did on
that
Hell's
would be
Freeze.
a-
That song
that
he
would
did
be
on
a good
Hell's
idea
Freeze is
for a-
over wasn't that
Was
good.
good, yeah.
No, I
That
didn't
would
think
be a
that was
good
good
idea
at
for
all.
a top
Yeah, I
11
like it.
show.
I like
I
the
I didn't like any of those songs they did.
All right,
on
Travis, take
Hell's Freeze is
control,
over.
dude. We're going offline, man.
Wait,
You know what?
Jerry,
Hey,
Jerry, you didn't
any
like
top-
Girl from Yesterday?
Hold on.
Hold on.
Any time-
I thought Get Over It was all right. It was kind of corny for them.
I like Get Over It.
Any
Love will keep us alive.
Good song.
I don't know.
Any
good song.
talk-
They were
any
trying
talk
to
about
do. They were trying
Sorry.
to do. I Can't Tell You Why again.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's get back to the
And
subject.
one more.
Girl
Fucking,
from Yesterday?
Girl from Yesterday.
Ah,
I know Glenn Fry's country. I know he is, but that song's way too country for
I
me.
love
I
that
know
song
Yeah.
so
It's,
much.
it's more country than anything they ever did.
I'm gonna go on an Eagle saying Jackson Brown wrote "Take It Easy" with them, and he said
Oh,
Glenn
yeah.
Fry came up with that line. I said, "I'm standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona."
Arizona. Such a fine
He,
time
he
to
said
see.
that's how I
There's
knew
a
he was a
girl,
great
my Lord,
songwriter.
like
That he
this,
put
boy.
that in the middle of
I
what
love
they
that
already
song.
wrote.
Yeah,
And
in
it
an
just
interview,
makes
in an interview with Glenn, he was saying he was playing. I guess they had rooms next to each other, and Jackson kept playing that same riff over and over again. And Glenn told him, "Shut the fuck up with that riff."
And you know what? Last thing I'll say it. I love Jackson Brown. So
Oh, I
me
love
too.
Jackson Brown.
I
too.
like some of his stuff. I'm not a huge fan.
one of my favorite songs of all time is "The Pretender."
That's a
Yeah,
great. That's a
great
great
song.
track.
Great album.
That's
Yeah.
a great
Do
track.
it again.
I like
I'm
Running
gonna
on
be
Empty. I like
happy.
Lawyers in Love. Like a lot of shit by him, dude.
All right, where are we
Jackson
at here now?
Brown.
Yeah, Travis,
All
let's
right,
get
number-
let's get
I'm
back
at
on.
number
I
4.
tried.
Number 4, I'm gonna go 3 for 3 with Led Zeppelin, "Houses of the Holy." Yes, I hate the crunch too. I don't like that song at all.
Thank
I
you.
love Jamaica. No Quarter is a great psychedelic prog kind
Yeah.
of tune. I love
Yeah.
that song.
So good.
The Ocean's a great way to end the album. Love the Rain song. You know what I love about the Rain song is before the final acoustic chord, you hear like do no no no. It gets dark for a second, and then it goes right into happiness again. If you have it's a masterpiece. Song remains the same. My favorite song on the album, "Dancing Days." Love that tune, and it's a great album. Not my favorite Led Zeppelin album, but it's
all we see is your mouth, Travis. Go back.
Still, what?
Tilt your phone up.
Tilt your phone. There you go.
There we go.
All right.
You look like the guy from fucking Canada and South Park right there. So there you go.
I look like the neighbor from Home Improvement.
Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson.
Wilson.
Wilson W. Wilson.
That's what you look like right now, Wilson.
That's my number 4. Led Zeppelin, Houses of the Holy. Number 3, Mark.
You guys already talked about this. I think 2 of you, maybe. $1 Billion Babies by Alice Cooper. A fucking great album, man. It could have been number 1, but I had to put them in order. Fucking, I'm getting into the blackout era now because of Chris Czynszak. There's nothing better than the original band. The first album, nah. And then they got better later because Frank Zappa fucked them over on that first album.
I like it.
He didn't fuck him over. It just wasn't a good album. He was the one. He was the one who gave him their shot.
He just recorded them, and they didn't get to practice on it. They thought they weren't being recorded, and he recorded what they thought they weren't being recorded at.
Yeah, but also the songs weren't great.
I still want to give those two. I still want to give those first 2 albums a chance.
I'm not a fan.
I was able to find it on vinyl for $20.
Nice.
Yeah, at that same record convention that I found the Mahavishnu.
Did you pee on the floor again?
No,
Did they kick you out after that?
After that, I had to go. I had to go.
For that, I had to go.
Yeah.
For me, it was this album that kicked it all for them.
Yeah.
For me, it was Love to Death.
Jerry, what's your number 3?
It's me. Okay, I'm sorry, my bad. All right, you're gonna say you put this ahead of fucking Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, really? But I don't care. Absolutely love this era of the band. I fucking love Wooden Nickel Sticks so much.
That's a good one.
Sticks 2, or they had a legal edition. There was actually a version of the album just called Lady, which the same songs, just called different.
For me, I would call it Lady and some other cool songs.
And of course, Dennis DeYoung will always remind you if you see him. This is the song that got us all started. He's probably
really did.
Song, which it should be. It's a great song, but it's loaded with great tracks. I'm gonna make you feel it's a great fucking track. And fuck Tommy Shaw for a minute. John Serluski was a great fucking guitarist and singer, dude. That guy wrote some great music with them, dude. If you haven't checked out those first 4 fucking Wooden Nickel Sticks albums,
we need to do the first 4 Wooden Nickels. Just do that.
There's good shit. It's not perfect, but there's a lot of great stuff.
But you're going to need to have time to do all 4 of those, man. Jerry.
Even Don't Sit Down on the Plexiglass Toilet's a good song. It's just loaded with great fucking songs.
I like that stuff too.
But no, it's really is good shit. And this is probably my favorite of the 4 albums.
We should get Mooger to listen to that shit.
Yeah, I mean, do it like we did for this. Do it like we did for the Pink Floyd. Just do it back to back to back to back.
Yeah, it's like, or we just do the greatest hits what Joesph put up. Maybe that.
Oh, this is all 4 albums.
Yeah, all 4 albums. That one.
I got all 4 albums.
The Wooden Nickel
collection. I do have that too.
Yeah,
we could do that.
It's 2 discs. 2 discs.
I have the album. I have the vinyl where it's got the greatest hits.
We can do 2 discs, but we'll pick 4 songs.
Yeah, but anyway, dude, I mean, fuck Tommy Shaw for a minute. Give John Serluski some praise. He did their first 5 albums. Actually, he did Equinox, but
my favorite Styx album.
Rest in peace, John. Don't get me wrong, Tommy added to the band. I get that, but John deserves some credit. So check him out if you haven't. They're good stuff. I mean, you guys claim to be prog guys, man. Check them out, man.
Other Styx albums. I got Styx 2 on vinyl. I got that greatest hits on wood, and I got the Serpent Rising on cassette.
Great.
I'm gonna make you feel it. What a great fucking song that is, dude.
About the only one I'm missing is their very first one. I can't find it.
I got
Styx.
And a man.
James Young sang a lot back then too, man. They kind of stepped off after Equinox, but great stuff. Anyway,
my favorite Styx song is?
What's that?
Halfpenny, Twopenny.
Oh, I love
Great
that
song.
song.
Great track.
Go Cougar Ran.
Go Cougar Ran. Lethal Weapon 2, baby.
I was just about to say, it reminds me so much of Lethal Weapon 2.
Exceedingly rich.
Diplomatic immunity.
Diplomatic immunity.
That's my favorite Lethal Weapon movie.
Well, you got Danny Glover like this.
Justin
From
Timberlake.
his head
Hey
shoots him
man,
right in the wood.
the fifth one's coming out, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I
they're
can't
supposed to
wait.
be.
I'll
They're supposed to be. I
watch
think
it.
they're supposed to be like retired PIs in Miami or something like
Yeah.
that. I think. That's the
I
So
love them all.
it's gonna be like Running Scared with Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines.
I love all the Lethal Weapon movies. So it should
Have
be
you guys
cool.
ever seen Running Scared? The Great
Love that
Outback?
movie, dude.
Negative.
Billy Crystal.
No,
Great fucking cop buddy movie. You guys
Yep.
need to watch it.
Awesome movie, and I really like the I don't know if it was shot on location in Chicago, but man, they really do show the gritty parts of Chicago.
And
on
they
there.
got that one dude as their guy yelling at them. Who was that guy? He was in like
Snake.
Yeah, he was in like the Matrix. He was the guy who
Yeah,
sold
who
him
you
out.
talking about? I can't remember his name. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he was a great character actor back then. And Jimmy Smits was in that movie as the
Yep.
perp.
Yep.
Fucking great movie, man.
Shut up, Penguin. They get
Yeah.
the nuns in the backseat of the cab. They got the wrong people.
Yeah, I love that. And it says fucking undercover cop car. They spray paint
Yeah.
on. That's fucking cool. So what do you think, Travis? Where are we at?
All right, we're at
I just
number
did
3.
6 too.
Joseph, you're at number 3, man.
All righty. 1077 Express to Heaven.
I knew you were gonna pick that.
A little bit of Blue Oyster Cult, Tyranny and Mutation.
That
Great
almost
second
made my
album.
list.
Blue Oyster Cult, Red and the Black, Hot Rails to Hell, OD'd on Life Itself, 7 Screaming Disbusters, and that's just side 1. I mean, what a great opening 4 tracks for this album. And what I just went and grabbed was the amazing new release, 50th anniversary night 2, where they perform the album in its entirety, plus a bunch of other great tracks. I am so excited for night 3 now with Secret Treaties on it.
Yes.
This is yet another just amazing. The first one was amazing. This one's just as great. You get to see this whole album performed live. Plus, they did Lips in the Hills, Perfect Water off Club Ninja, Tenderloin, Revenge of Vera Gemini, ETI, Unknown Tongue, which is amazing to hear live. Tattoo Vampire. If anyone hasn't checked this out yet, definitely give it a shot.
Unknown Tongue, and Tattooed Vampire.
You know what pisses me off? I saw them at a swap meet, and I put up videos on Freeform, and I get a lot of people, oh, they look old, they're not good. And I had an amazing time, and I'm not a huge fan of them. Yeah. And they played great. I couldn't believe the nasty comments I was getting about their live performance.
What the fuck are they doing? What the fuck are they doing at a flea market?
You know what those commenters? Those commenters probably didn't get laid, so it's all good.
You know what? The thing is, I saw them at M3, which is they're not the kind of band that normally plays at M3, but I was having the time of my life.
They were great,
amazing.
right?
They were amazing.
They were amazing. They sounded amazing.
It was a couple months before they recorded this in 2022, and amazing. They still
saw them in 2024. They were great.
They still bring it live, and
yeah.
To see these videos, these were filmed 3 nights in a row, the first night, the second night, the third night, and they played 20 plus songs each night, 3 nights in a row. At their age, amazing. And they sound great live. They bring Albert Bouchard out for most of this. They bring Kasim Sultan out for a couple tracks on this.
That's a badass bass player right there, dude.
They bring him out for a couple tracks on this.
Badass bass player.
They still bring it live. So anyone who hasn't checked this out yet, just came out. Oyster Cult 50th anniversary night 2. They performed the whole Tyranny and Mutation album, plus a whole bunch of other great tracks. And then hopefully within the next 6 or 8 months, we'll be getting night 3 coming out, where they play all of Secret Treaties, plus a bunch of other great stuff. Do you think they'll come out
with a box set with all of them?
I doubt it.
That's what I was hoping for. I don't want to buy one at a time.
I gotta say about.
It's not bad. They're 2 CDs and a DVD, and really nice. They're really nice, like packaging. Got a lot of really cool illustrations and stuff on it. Nice big booklet in it. $18. It's not bad at all. $18. Like I highly recommend it.
I have changed my tune on Tyranny and Mutation.
I
used to like it, but I used to like it, but I didn't love it. But now I am just obsessed. I think it's a great album. What the hell was wrong with me back then? Now I think it's a masterpiece. Great choice, Joesph. Andy, number 3.
Number 3, the second album on these top 5 of the same drummer. I'm talking about the drummer that is in My Vishnu Orchestra. I'm talking about Billy Cobham. He did his own solo album in 1973 as well, called Spectrum. Another great jazz rock fusion album.
Is Tommy Bolin on it?
Yes, Tommy Bolin is playing guitar on here. Tommy Bolin must have been about maybe 20 or 21. Tommy Bolin is all over this album.
Oh, great. That's great.
It's a fantastic album. Again, instrumental, of course. So Billy Cobham Spectrum from 1973. There's little excerpts into each song that kind of is like an intro into the tracks. But anyone that likes or getting into jazz rock fusion, this is a really good album too. It was introduced to me by Al Horta. So Spectrum.
Yeah.
I'll check
I'll
it
have
out.
good opinions, except
that's what I love about you guys, man. Getting me in all kinds of new music.
He said he agreed with me that my opinion sucks on KXM versus King's X, but that's okay. I love y'all.
I gotta check out some of that Billy Cobham stuff. I know Pete Pardo did a ranking the albums of that. So
another guy that they have one of those original album series for. That's what you just held up, right? It was from one of those little box sets.
This is from let me see here.
Original album classics or something like that.
Yeah. This one right here with Billy Cobham. It comes with 5 albums.
I love those 5-packs, man. I love those.
Yeah,
dude,
I have a ton of them. I have a ton
of them too.
Yeah.
They're very well taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one that I got, hold on, let me grab it. Oh well, it's a different show, so y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
Well, that's a great choice, Andy. My number 3 has been mentioned plenty of times already, and it is my favorite album by this man. I know a lot of people love Killer, but to me, $1 Billion Babies is where it's at. Kicking it off with the 1-2 punch of Hello Hooray into Raped and Freezing, then Elected. I love that music video for Elected with the monkey.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious. No More Mr. Nice Guy. I never get tired of that song. It's a classic. One of my favorite songs.
Megadeth butchered it.
Yeah. I like their version.
I like their version too. One of my favorite deep cuts is Unfinished Suite, which has that little James Bond lick in the middle of the song.
Yeah,
I
think that was supposed to be in a James Bond movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, Man with the Golden Gun off of Muscle of Love.
Oh, okay.
And I love the day.
Yeah,
what a great, just a fantastic album. It is the best Alice Cooper album to me. It rules. Number 2, Mark.
Well, I'm picking this number 2 because I have to. I know Jerry's gonna pick this, maybe number 1 or number 2, because there's 2 albums that I know he's gonna pick number 1 and number 2. If I'm wrong, then fucking I'll suck a dick.
Oh shit! I'm changing my list right now.
Don't make promises you can't keep, Mark.
Suck it.
I know you're gonna pick the next 2 albums, number 1, number 2. Those 2 bands, but my number 2 is Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. The first album I really got stoned to.
About that one.
Stoned to and fucking.
That came out in 73, really?
Yeah.
Shut up, Jerry. Shut up, Jerry. Shut the fuck up. Dark Side of the Moon. That's my number 2.
Great. Number 2, Jerry. What's your pick?
House of the Holy, Led Zeppelin. I mean,
of
course.
Oh,
of course.
I know what number 1 is now.
No, I mean, what's more to talk about except I think it sounds amazing. A lot of people don't like the sound of that album. I think it's amazing. I love how they slowed down Robert's vocals in No Quarter, make that get that really cool, ominous tone in his vocals. And I love the crunch. I don't care what you say, Mark. I love Jamaica too. Sorry, Andy.
I like Jamaica.
It's my second favorite behind Physical Graffiti as far as Zeppelin albums, but he was the one that mentioned Over the Hills. I mean, what a great fucking song that is. Yeah. Holy shit, dude. I mean,
my favorite Led Zeppelin song.
I mean,
great song.
It's just fucking Dancing Days, the Rain song. God. I mean, people say, oh, Led Zeppelin ripped off people. Explain that fucking song then.
Nope, you can't.
Exactly. Explain that. 10 years gone. Explain how they ripped those fuckers off. Come on. Can't. Fucking great tune, dude. But yeah,
the Rover.
The Rover. Custard Pie. Well, Custard Pie's a little ripped off.
The Immigrant song was fucking proto metal.
Great album choice.
Yeah.
Joesph, anyway. Number 2.
Alrighty, well, it's 1 o'clock and time for lunch. Hum-de-dum-de-dum. When the sun beats down and I lie on me bench, you can always hear them talk.
Selling England by the pound.
Selling England by the
I
pound.
knew you were gonna pick that album, Chair. That's on my
favorite Genesis album.
I know that.
Dancing with the Moonlit Night. I Know What I Like. Fifth of Firth, my favorite Genesis song. More Fool Me, which is just an amazing, beautiful track. One of the first songs that Phil Collins did vocals on for Genesis. He did a short song on Nursery Crime, but this was like his first real song he did vocals on. And it's an amazing track, really underrated track. Battle of Epping Forest, After the Ordeal, and then The Great Cinema Show. One of the absolute best progressive rock albums ever released.
I agree with you, man.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely
All
gorgeous.
my honorable mentions.
Gorgeous, epic album that's just front to back amazing.
So, that was on my other list.
My number 2, Genesis, Selling England by the Pound.
That's my favorite Gabriel era album.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering when that would show up on your list. My favorite Genesis song is on that album too, The Cinema Show.
Great
my
song.
Favorite Genesis song. Love it.
With Father Tiresias.
Yep.
Andy, number 2.
The third album with Billy Cobb on drums. That is my number 2. And also John McLaughlin is also on guitar on this album. I think Joesph might know where I'm going at.
Yep.
With this. Also has Jan Hammer on here as well. What you do is you take one of the greatest jazz rock fusion being Mahavishnu Orchestra and put it together with one of the best rock Latin bands, put them together, and you get Santana with John McLaughlin. This is a fantastic album. This was called Love, Devotion, and Surrender, where John McLaughlin, one of the greatest guitar players, trades licks with the great Carlos Santana, and both of their bands are combined, and they just blow the roof off on this album. It took me a while to buy this album.
Yeah, I've tried to get into Santana, man. I really have. I mean, I like Winning, of course, because that's kind of a weird.
I like the album with Greg Rowley and Neil on there.
Yeah,
Abraxas.
Oh,
yeah.
I love it.
I'll tell you what. And Andy knows that I'm not a huge Santana fan.
Yeah.
That album right there.
This one and Caravan.
Mm-hmm.
Those are where he was getting into the jazz rock fusion.
Yeah, he had that. Carlos had that little Caravanserai and a couple of those other albums around at the same time.
About 3 or 4 albums are just pure jazz rock fusion, and he turned away, and he changed a lot as he goes, and so that's my number 2. Okay, that's enough of Billy Cobham for tonight for me.
No, man, it's all good. I love Santana. Those first 2 Santana albums to me are the best ones.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
Oh yeah,
but I love Santana. Greg Rowley is a very underrated.
Black Magic Woman, man.
Yeah,
Black Magic Woman. Hope you're feeling better.
I like Fleetwood Mac's version much better. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh really?
I'll tell you what. Anyone who's interested in checking out that era of Santana, they have one of those original album classics box sets.
Oh really?
That actually, and it includes Love, Devotion, Surrender in it. It has the 5 albums that it includes are Caravanserai, Love, Devotion, Surrender, Welcome, Borboleta, and Amigos are the 5 that it includes.
Okay, well I got all those on vinyl, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So that's his like jazz fusion era of Santana. So anyone who's interested in checking that out.
I think Neil was just a kid, and he's like 15 or 16.
Oh yeah,
he's not bad. He was just young,
but
man.
That's where they say that Santana lost his crowd was during that jazz rock fusion. That's where he lost album sales and stuff.
He didn't really get it back till the late 70s.
Yeah,
I'm tripping out with Travis.
Okay.
I know.
All right, sorry about that. I'm back. Number 2, Black Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. What else could be said about this album? It almost didn't get made. Tony Iommi was having writer's block. Then they moved to that abandoned castle, and he came up with that riff, the Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and the ball of wax just started rolling. It's just a sonic firestorm of an album. Not a bad dud on it. Spiral Architect, man. What an epic tune that is. Living for it's just the whole album just rules. Sabracadabra, great keyboard work from Rick Wakeman on that one. Killing Yourself to Live, Smoke, Get High. Love the one. I even love Who Are You. And by the way,
not a bad song on it, in my opinion.
By the way, that was the first Rock and Metal Combat podcast episode I ever listened to. There you go. My probably my second favorite Black Sabbath album after Volume 4. So there's my number 2.
After what?
Volume 4.
After Volume 4. And I'll be right back, guys. So you guys go with your number 1s.
Who is it? Me?
Yep, you're up next, Mark.
I'm going to pick, I don't think any of you guys picked this album. I just love this song, and a lot of people covered it, and it's on this album. Joe Walsh, The Smoker You Drink, The Player You Get. I love that fucking album. Fucking Rocky Mountain Way is on there. It just starts off the fucking album. And it just, I know he didn't write a lot of these songs on this album, but it's fucking amazing. He did write Rocky Mountain Way. Fucking Triumph did a great version of that too.
I was just about to mention Triumph.
Yeah, it's
rock and roll. Yeah,
it's a fucking great fucking album. We've been licking Joe Walsh's ass kind of on this.
I wouldn't lick his ass. I like him, but I would never lick his ass.
Oh,
so what's your number 1, Mark?
Joe Walsh, The Smoker You Drink, The Player You Get.
Really? That's your number 1?
Number 1?
I love that album, man.
1?
That's a very bad number 1 pick, Mark.
it's like the same as having Samantha Fox.
Well, I was trying not to pick what you guys are picking too.
Samantha Fox on your Predators team. I'm not surprised.
Shut up. Rocky Mountain Way rules.
It's a great song.
It does rule, but number 1?
Yeah, it's a great album. Great guitar work on that album, man.
Okay.
All right, fine. Jerry, number 1.
All right, Marcy, whose dick do you want to suck? The 4 of us.
Not mine.
What are you picking, Jerry?
I'm out.
You already picked the number 2 I knew
I don't have enough girth. Sorry.
You got to go with the great Sandy Denny and Fairport Convention, man.
Liar.
One of the greatest fucking albums ever.
Liar.
Of course, it's fucking The Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah,
man.
that's why I knew I wasn't sucking anybody's dick. We're going to pick Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. Hello, I know you.
Second best album ever made behind Physical Graffiti. I mean, just fucking, still fucking blows my mind every time I hear it, dude. I mean, I got to see this cover band, Brit Floyd, every year. They're amazing. If you haven't seen them, check them out.
They're playing down here.
You're not going to get closer to Pink Floyd than those guys, man. They do. And the woman who sings The Gray Gig in the Sky, her name is Eva Avilia. My God, I'm telling you, look it up on fucking YouTube. It gives you chills. It's so amazing. And if you haven't seen Brit Floyd, seriously, go see them, dude. They're not just a cheap play in the bar cover band. They have the whole show. They have $1 million productions. Fucking amazing. They even do dogs this year, and they have a little dog walking on. It's kind of cute, actually. But anyway, enough of that. Dark Side of the Moon, definitely my number 1, hands down. You really thought Houses of Holy would be ahead of that?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I knew you were going to pick Pink Floyd as number 1, Jerry.
Okay.
I knew Zeppelin was going to be number 2.
Houses of Holy.
Yeah. Close. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's fucking no doubt.
All right, number 1, Joesph Staub.
Well, I mean, the most obvious pick in the history of music and mankind. My all-time, the greatest band of all time. My second favorite album from them, besides Sabotage. I mean, it's an amazing album from front to back. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, National Acrobat, Fluff, Sabracadabra, Killing Yourself to Live, even Who Are You and Looking for Today. And then, of course, closing it out, like Jerry said, with one of the greatest songs ever written, Spiral Architect.
Did we all pick that?
Yeah, we all picked Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
Well, Andy didn't, but because it was on his other list, I'm sure.
Oh,
okay. It's one of the greatest albums of all time.
It is.
And for a year in music that is as amazing as 1973, when I think of 1973, this is the first thing I think of, in all honesty. So it couldn't be anywhere but my number 1.
Wonderful choice, my friend. Andy, you're number 1.
Yeah, it was not on my other list.
Oh, it was not?
No, it wasn't, because it's on this one.
Okay.
Sabbath.
5 for 5 on that album. I think that's the only one, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It took me a while to really get into this one. We had done a the gatefold is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Badass.
Creepy looking picture.
Yeah. A very coked out kind of photo. With this album here, I couldn't make the connection because I love Volume 4 and Sabotage is just fantastic. Why couldn't I get into this album? It's because this album was completely different. It was different from anything else Sabbath had done until that point. Their musical landscape had changed. The vocals by Ozzy had changed as well. It wasn't just this heavy metal rock band anymore. They were really stretching out, and that's what I couldn't grasp. I think we did a ranking of Ozzy and Black Sabbath albums. This wasn't even in the top 10 of those.
Wow.
Yeah. And it just recently, it really grabbed my attention. The whole thing from beginning to end, the different song structures is what's the most impressive thing about Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. So that's my number one for 1973, part 2. So it's Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
All right. Jerry, your number one was Dark Side of the Moon, right?
Yes.
Well, you're right about that opinion because that's my number one. Because
Great mind thinks alike.
if I was gonna go with Black Sabbath as my number one, but I said to myself, I would be lying to myself if I didn't put Dark Side at number one. I'd be lying to myself. That album transcends music. It's perfection. And about the Great Gig of the Sky, I think someone told her to like scream like she was being murdered or something.
Yeah.
Every song just goes into another. It makes me cry. That album is so good, it makes me cry. Us and Them, the best Pink Floyd song according to me. That's some fucking music. You like take your girl and you fuck the shit out of her with that song playing in the background.
Yeah.
And to close it with Brain Damage going into Eclipse, what else needs to be said about this album?
Plus, you could play it with the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, brother!
No.
It's just a masterpiece. It's historic, and that's my number one. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. I can't get enough of it. So, great list, guys. Anybody want to go over their honorable mentions?
I mean,
yes, I do.
One more note about Dark Side. It's still the number one album in the top 200, I think.
Yeah,
all time. I think. Yeah.
Suck it, Thriller.
Yep.
Okay. Can I start off with my honorable mentions? Do y'all mind?
Of course. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll go last.
Now, these are the albums that were on my first episode. Number one was Dark Side of the Moon. Dark Side of the Moon is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's in my top 20, my personal top 20. Also had Houses of the Holy on there, Selling England by the Pound, Quadrophenia. Also had Countdown to Ecstasy, Neil Young, Time Fades Away. Y'all were probably wondering where these albums were for me. They were on the other episode. Yeah. Tres Hombres, of course, was one of my favorites. Overnight Sensation. Brothers and Sisters by the Allman Brothers. No one mentioned that one.
That was my honorable mention.
That one's on my honorable mention.
Honorable mentions, yeah.
All right, that's a great album too. Montrose, I love that Montrose album. Also like Paper Money, and also thing about Ronnie Montrose are his Gamma Ray album.
The Gamma album.
Gamma's badass. Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. Fantastic albums. Also this one here, I didn't mention it, but Jim Croce's "I Got a Name" was released that year.
Yep.
But so was Jim Croce's "Life and Time." We lost him too soon. A great songwriter for the I don't want to say simple man, but he just wrote so much from the heart and from the soul. So those are my honorable mentions. Oh yeah, and of course, Who Do You Think We Are by Deep Purple. I think that was a fantastic album. It really sucks that Ian Gillan left after that, because I think they really changed their sound to more of a blues boogie woogie rock band.
I loved it.
Got away from the hard rock that I love. So
Great.
I think
they started out with songs like Tush and stuff like, or
Yeah, I
Hush.
like
I mean,
Burn. That album's so good.
Burn is
I mean-
amazing.
Yeah, Burn is
Yeah.
amazing.
You know what?
Showcase the band is good too.
I think for me, I Got a Name from Jim Croce is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Oh, yeah.
That song is one of the most beautiful songs ever written.
It really is.
Was it you or Kate that wanted to do that eventually, Jim Croce? One of you two I thought mentioned that.
Both of us do.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
Both of us want to do
one of the
both.
most simple but really just like emotional words, like dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun. Amazing song.
And the music was
Amazing.
so simple.
Yeah, just so many great songs.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
I can go
anybody else got an honorable mention?
I don't
list?
have any.
I got a list.
All right, Joseph,
Go ahead, Joesph. You go first.
So of course, like I said at the beginning of my list, Dark Side of the Moon was not on my list, but it was like my number 12. Like it's right there. I love that album, but it's my least favorite of that run, honestly. Of the run from Metal through The Wall, it's my least favorite of those 6 albums. Obscured by Clouds, maybe. But
Love that album too.
yeah, they're 6 amazing albums. But Desperado was on here. One that nobody mentioned, the debut album from Queen was in 1973.
Oh, I forgot
Great
about that one. I
stuff.
love that.
Great
That's my
stuff
favorite
on
Queen
there.
album.
Goat's Head Soup, Aladdin Sane from David Bowie. Nobody talked about that one.
I was
That's
listening to that
all
one today, actually.
The debut from Aerosmith, Chicago 6, great Chicago album, and Countdown to Ecstasy.
Yeah.
some of the ones, Birds of Fire, and like I said earlier, Birds of Fire and From Nothingness to Eternity. I also was talking about putting on there. A couple other ones that Andy just mentioned. Had all my honorable mentions as well.
Well, I had my honorable mentions: Allman Brothers, Brothers and Sisters, Billy Joel, Piano Man, Elton John, Don't Shoot the Piano Player, and Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. He released 2 albums in that year.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a huge fan of the album Piano Man. I love the song Captain Jack is amazing.
Oh, Captain Jack.
My favorite Billy Joel song.
But I'm not a huge fan of that album. I think
Pressure.
I think his albums got so much better as it went on. I mean,
well, I agree with you, but that's why I didn't pick him as my top 11.
Turnstiles and The Stranger, 52nd Street. That run there is just amazing.
Yeah. That run, but also that live album, Songs in the Attic.
Yeah, Songs in the Attic.
Oh my God,
it was a lot of deep cuts.
Yeah.
He was like the one of the first guys to do a live album of nothing but deep cuts.
I get to see him at the Intuit Dome in September.
That's
but
awesome.
The thing is, Bruno Mars just opened that place and it was full of fucking mistakes. So I hope they fix that by the time I see Billy there.
I'll tell you what, I got a lot of really great shows coming up. I'm seeing next month. I'm seeing Green Day on Labor Day. They postponed their show up in Hershey that was supposed to be a couple weeks ago, and I got tickets. They ended up going back on sale for pretty cheap, so I was able to get some tickets for that. I'm going to see Styx again next month. I'm going. Who else am I going to see next month? I think I might be going to see Skillet next month. So I got a nice, really good list of shows coming up next month. I'm excited.
Well, I just saw Sammy last night. I'm seeing Billy in September, and I'm seeing the former members of Boingo Boingo November 2nd.
I'm definitely getting tickets to go see that Striper 40th anniversary tour.
Oh, I want to see that too if they come by here.
They're coming down. They're coming to Baltimore.
Tesla is playing up in the desert. I want to get tickets.
Nice.
They're at Yamava Casino, and it's very decent prices. When Stevie Nicks was there, it was like $1,000 a ticket, but Tesla's like in a $50. So
right on. I got my hot. Oh,
I was just saying, I'm getting.
Not to say that Tesla's worse than Stevie. But come on, it's Stevie Nicks. Of course, she's going to charge more.
$3,000 a ticket, dude.
I'm getting tickets. Queensryche is playing at this little casino near me, and there's like maybe like 200 seats in the place, and it's like it's like $40.
Dude,
like,
they
yes,
rule.
please.
I've seen them twice open up for Judas Priest with Todd. They're really good.
Well, I just saw them a couple months ago, so I'm gonna go see them again. I saw them do the Origin set list a couple months ago at M3. I'm gonna see them again. I think they're still doing the Origin set list, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, well, let's get to Travis's list, man.
Oh, I have quite a
It's
number
his show,
here.
man. Sorry, Travis.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I got the debut album from Aerosmith, of course. I got Blue Oyster Cult, Tyranny and Mutation. David Bowie, Aladdin Sane. Great cover of Let's Spend the Night Together on that. Amazing. Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Brain Salad Surgery. The Jay Giles Band, Bloodshot.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
album.
That's a good one.
Bloodshot, yeah.
King Crimson, Lark's Tongues and Aspic. Queen's debut, of course. Little Feat, Dixie Chicken. I got and Thin Lizzy, Vagabonds of the Western World. I got 2 film soundtracks. I got Magnum Force, great film score from Lalo Schifrin, and I got Live and Let Die, George Martin, Paul McCartney and Lynch. So there's my list.
Awesome. Well, Travis, man, you did a good job, dude, man. Thank you for doing this tonight.
Thank you, guys.
I think Andy, you're gonna be up next, buddy, for Pick a Topic, man.
Yeah. I think
now, do you want to host it like?
listed.
Do you want to host it like Travis, or do you want us to do it? Doesn't matter either way.
Oh no,
whoever picks it could host it, man. Andy,
Okay.
you got like top 11 fictional bands for movies, TV or cartoon.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah. I've already done with my list.
And then we'll give Joesph the pick after you, man, if that's cool with Mark.
Yeah, Joseph's still thinking.
So if y'all want me to host, I will.
It's up to you, dude.
I probably won't be on that episode because I don't know if I could come up with an 11 list, but my favorite would be the Way Outs from the Flintstones.
That's on my list. The Way Outs, we're going way out. That's where the fun is. Yeah.
Stand up and shine.
All right. You know who wrote that song?
But
Sammy Hagar.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, but yeah, man, I'll go ahead and host if y'all don't mind.
All right,
we
cool.
like guests.
Makes our job easier.
Yeah.
We get credit for the show, and we don't have to do any work. So yeah, we love it.
you're guesting on your own show.
I'll say this.
Exactly.
I'll say this. Death Clock, my favorite fictional band.
Oh yeah.
Mine is mine. I was joking about the Way Outs. My favorite, my actual favorite would be the Juicy Fruits / the Undead / the Beach Bums from
Spinal Tap
from Phantom of the Paradise.
No Gem and the Holograms.
I thought I was going to say that, Jim, and the holograms, man.
Well, don't
Archie's.
everybody spoil their lists. Don't everybody spoil their lists.
All right. Well, we don't want to give you guys any spoilers, man. But
that shitty band from the first Lethal Weapon movie.
What, Honeymoon Suite?
No, the band that's in the background in the club in the first Lethal Weapon.
I don't know who they are.
No, that
Any
was
of the Cruisers would be a good one, no?
No, that was the
All right,
Galactic
don't give them all
Cowboys
away,
versus
dude.
Oh yeah, I want to give them all away.
All right,
so
of bands who were in the background of movies, Armored Saint was in I think it was like Hellraiser 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Cannibal Corpse and Ace Ventura.
Yeah, he's all. Dancing.
Yeah.
all right, is that what we're doing next week, Andy? Are we doing your episode next week?
Yeah, sure. If that's what y'all want to do.
Yeah,
If you're available,
Sounds
we'll
good.
do it next Thursday, not Tuesday.
sounds good. Sounds good.
Next Thursday. Yes, next Thursday.
right.
And this Thursday we are doing the top 10 albums plus 5 honorable mentions of 2004. It's gonna be me, Al Horta, Joseph Staub, Brad Dahl, and Jimmy James Schwartz will be on there with us
Awesome.
as
Hey,
well.
Jimmy, I keep trying to get that
I'm so
motherfucker
glad
on a
I haven't
show.
gotten to do a show with Jimmy yet. Yes.
Dude,
So
I've been
that
trying
will
to
be
get Jimmy
perfect.
James Schwartz on a show, and he keeps saying, "Well, I'll get back to you." Yeah, fuck you, Jimmy. I love you, Jimmy. I hope he's listening to this, and it fucking pisses him off that he wants to come on the show.
And I don't know, but I think I can guess what Joseph's number 1 is.
From 2004?
Yeah.
But anyway, I
tell
want
now.
to. I
I haven't done my list yet, so I don't know.
Okay.
I want to thank you guys for being on. This is a lot of fun. Great topic. Travis, like I said, you did a great job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Travis Patty.
Me and
Thanks.
Andy and Kate will be working on our music diet episode coming up shortly.
Yeah,
On
I'll be
3
doing
shots down. Actually, I gotta talk to you too about that because I'm not too sure how we're gonna do it. But Mark, take us out, dude.
All right, this Friday on Freeform Rock Podcast, we have "Open Up and Say Ah" by Poison. So if you like comedy,
Oh boy,
who was
Well,
on that episode? You weren't on that.
wasn't
were you,
me.
Jerry?
Wasn't me. No.
It was Mooger. It was me and Mooger, I think. Somebody else.
You guys, this episode won't be nearly as good as Rock Metal Comment because you guys didn't drop acid before you recorded.
No, we didn't have Lee.
I would take. I'll take.
That's the great combination. Ralphinian dropped acid and had Lee on it. And which one's crazier is the question.
Right.
All right. So I don't. Next week what are we doing next week, Andy?
We are going to be doing our top 11 fictional bands from either movie, TV, or cartoons. There's quite a bit to choose from. Yep. So that's what we'll be doing next week here on the BS Sessions with Mark and Jerry.
Yep.
All right, man. Let's get the fuck out of here, Jerry, unless you have something to promote.
No, I'm good, man. Peace out, everybody. Be good to each other. Be good. It's nutty season right now. Be good to each other, man. Go, Joesph.
All right, man.
Rules.
Take it easy, guys. Later.
Take care, guys.
Later.